right, guys, welcome to episode number 397 of the Cleveland Moto Podcast. Light them up, boys.
Oh.
Ooh, and they're off.
Balls.
Nice.
Right,
cool. So, yeah, well, here we are, well into that, just conquering the living hell out of the middle of November, as we do.
Yeah.
I'm very
Stupid
proud.
snow.
We've had we've had a lot of end of the season inventory problems, and in the world of Vespa, it just bears mentioning. So Vespa changed the GTS 300. They changed quite a few things about the GTS 100. There are 827 changes. There are 27 changes, and there's $800 added to the price. So that's the way they did it. And so the problem was we had all these people that were in the showroom and stuff in June and July and August. And they're like, I've heard they're going to change that bike. So I'm going to wait until 23s come out, and then I'll make my decision. Well, EICMA happened, and they showed the new 23s at EICMA, and they went to the website, and they saw that the 23s were $800 more for push-button electric starting, keyless launch control, and so they all retreated with their tail between their legs and said, I'll take those 2022s that you showed me back there in June and July. And I went, that's not how it works. We sold all those. Those are gone now. And when they decided to change the tooling over to 2023, they didn't build you an extra bunch of 2022s for people who didn't like the look of the 2023s or the price of the 2023s. So I've been scrambling to find all these people who put down deposits. And yesterday I drove from Cleveland to Cincinnati and got an orange one. And then I drove from Cincinnati to Chicago and got the red one over there. And then I drove back to Cleveland, and then God decided to make it blizzard at about 5 p.m. leaving Chicago in rush hour traffic.
That was in 3 days, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was in 16 hours and 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Yeah, I like to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not one to play around. And all my friends in Chicago were like, "Hey man, you got to stop and have a beer. You got to stop and do something." Yeah. Nope.
Unless you're helping me load.
That was it. I told Kathy, I was like, unless you're physically at Motorworks helping me load this bitch into the back of my truck, handing me sips of beer as I'm doing it, we are not going to see each other on this trip. I'm just going to slow down to, treetop height, swipe this thing in the back of my truck, and off I fuck. And it did, but catching the blizzard on the way home was a big surprise. Nobody expected that, including all the trucks and stuff that were going the wrong way on Interstate 80. So I had to do a lot of diversion or, discretionary alterations to my course, including going into Michigan. That wasn't part of my plan, but here we are. So we're back. And it's very funny that after all was said and done, in that same trip, I set my own personal best for getting out of Chicago during rush hour. And nobody's ever gotten out of Chicago during rush hour in 32 minutes before. And I did it. I made it
294?
I did all of them. So I was literally, I did all of them.
295.
I do. Whatever it takes.
Yeah.
That's it. I did all of them because my technique was literally getting off of the freeway because the vehicles on the ramps were moving. Well, they were moving. And the vehicles not on the ramps weren't moving. So the vehicles that were in the giant parking lot, well, they're not going anywhere. So I just ramped off and ramped on and ramped off and ramped on my entire way from Johnny Chef's shop until I got to the point where you make a decision that you're going to Indiana or you're going straight to go down to 80, And I decided to take the 94, let's go to Indiana route, even taking a chance that might be gefuckered. But it turns out it was great. So awesome. Cool. Got to watch a lot of neat crashes around me. So that was neat. The one-wheel drive Ford F-150 from 2008 with the V6 motor and a 5-speed transmission did wonderfully. So amen. Good job.
Those things are great in the snow for some unknown reason.
It's tires, man. You cannot have... when I got this truck, it had California low rolling resistance, freeway type tires. They were useless. They get stuck in wet grass. And then they got stuck at your property. Yeah, and on wet grass. But
you have to get the shark bite tires that eat up asphalt.
I got the tires that were OEM equipment on James's Ranger when he bought it. The first thing anybody does with the Ranger is takes the factory wheels and tires off, I guess. And I was all too happy to be a carp and just be waiting for those tires to, become part of my food chain. It was great. So that was awesome. So it did so well. I was so happy with the truck. Super proud. Did beautiful. Got 18 miles per gallon.
That's good
for the whole trip. Not too bad. Wasn't really sparing the horses at all, as they say.
I don't feel that bad. I'm getting 17 right now, and I was like kind of bummed about it.
Yeah.
But no, that's probably all right.
That's where you want to be. And you got an 8-cylinder, and I got a 6-cylinder.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I've got a motor in my truck that came out of a very small British car called a Capri. That's the motor that's in my truck.
Is that the 3.5 or the 4.2?
It's the 4.2. Yeah. So it's not a big old honking V8. It's a wheezing V6. Yeah. So that's it. Nothing happens in a hurry in that truck. It's just kind of the power.
I have the exact same engine in my F-150.
Yeah. Is it an automatic?
No, it's a stick.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So that's it.
The fifth gear is so tall. It's like,
So it has this combination of it has the world's tallest first gear. So if you're backing up with the trailer on, you're going to stall it 73 times. It's almost impossible to either not chirp the tires or stall it.
I think you're in third gear when you're in
gear.
first.
Exactly. Yeah, you're like, okay, I'm going to pull away from a light in a hurry. No, you're not. You're not. You're just going to make the clutch go away. But I did get 175,000 miles out of the first clutch. So very happy with that. So that's good clutch, good truck. So yeah, I approve. So anyway, in weird motorcycle stuff, we acknowledge that every Monday, because our friends that do podcasts are far more reliable than we are. They take it very seriously, Liza.
What?
And
we're pretty fucking reliable.
Again,
I know every Wednesday night I'm fucking going, I'm going to go to bed. Fuck, I have to edit the goddamn podcast. So I know that we're pretty reliable.
Yeah, right.
So, you know what? We should do a top 10 of why we're not reliable.
Oh, that'd be the best.
Yeah.
The top 10,
unreliable.
The Liza Miller official.
We should do the top 10 podcasts, a motorcycle podcast in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay. Would you like to know who has the number 22 best automotive podcast in New Zealand? That would be the Cleveland Moto Podcast. Yeah, best automotive podcast in New Zealand. 22nd best motorcycle, or not motorcycle. I looked. It's automotive. It covers all the genres.
Nice.
I was going to try to.
How many are there total? 23?
A lot more than 22.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah. Come on, there's the sheep report. That's way up there. Right?
I was gonna wait my turn and be cool, but this is breaking news and it's way too exciting.
He just can't do it.
I can't do it. This is also, it redeems me in so many ways and puts me on a new pedestal.
We'll tell you what redeems you.
Yeah.
You ready? All
We'll
right.
decide that.
Ocean age whiskey is not just a gimmick. It is a bona fide.
What's
the source?
Written by Ocean Whiskey Incorporated.
Nope, they're an Irish whiskey company. They can't be considered Irish whiskey because they don't actually are on the mainland. They age for 3 years on a boat in the ocean. And he says it's effectively like a washing machine. There's a hell of a lot more interaction between the liquid and the wood, obviously because it's constantly agitated. This adds the flavor of 10 to 15 years in as little as 2 to 3 years. And this is our principle behind our entire company.
Put it in a paint
His
mixer.
name's O'Grady, by the way. So he has an O.
Throw it in a wastewater aeration tank and let it bubble around in there.
That is insane.
Such bullshit.
Look at O'Grady isn't the first to age whiskey on water. In fact, he was inspired by Jefferson's Ocean Aged at Sea bourbon, which debuted in 2012.
Yeah, I mean, they're copying the same
So if
bullshit
it
as
was
someone
like
else.
in a truck with bad shocks, would that be just as
No,
good?
it's not as gentle. It's a constant motion that pushes
I don't
through.
know. I mean,
For
I've been in some
centuries,
boats that are
barrels of
pretty
whiskey and
harsh,
other
man.
spirits moved to their place of destination by ship.
Yeah, drive the barrel to Michigan.
This is
one
how
of
the
those
flavors first came around.
So first of all,
Wow.
the guy who doesn't drink anymore now,
Yeah.
I'd like you to tell me
I will take a nip of
what
some.
is the cost difference between that
Yeah.
and a normal Jameson?
It's the cost of one boat.
I think they're almost.
All you need to do is just drive on Cleveland city streets for like 30 minutes to get the same
Right,
action.
I agree.
See? And so on the 13th voyage, they hit hurricanes, 3 of them, and it was their best run of liquor yet.
Oh my god.
They lost all the barrels over the side.
Yeah, that's why they're more expensive.
It's easy for the guy who made it to say it's the best.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, it's
trying,
not
Sleepy.
them. It's called Vine Pair. It's a whiskey review website.
Keep trying, bro.
All right, Cinch. So go get a bottle, bring it in here, and let's
Pair,
see.
which refers to
probably
wine.
Well, they
Right,
do all
exactly.
kinds of spirits.
So to my left is
Oscar, you guys will pay. Someday you will find
and to Oscar's left.
the most ingenious whiskey connoisseur in the history of connoisseurs.
Bullshit.
Stephen Edward. Sleepy Cinch.
Esquire the Third.
Esquire. Woof.
Okay.
Tasteologist.
All right, Cinchy.
Oh, sleepy.
We're just going to call you Admiral O'Cinch from now. Here comes the Commodore. And to his immediate left.
Dan only lost his sense of taste for 2 days. KROMKE.
It was that boat whiskey.
That's what brought him back.
And to his immediate left,
Chris never had a sense of taste. Smith.
utterly tasteless. And to his left and your right,
John, give me a break, Macklefresh.
and to his left and your extreme far stereo right,
Fart.
Steve Hoffert.
Grumpy sewer guy.
Also
Grumpy
known
sewer guy.
as the
He's
return. So
back.
Steve, why were you gone? Where?
also known as the father-in-law.
Yeah, my daughter got married.
The Fasha.
Fasha.
No
Fascia
break.
law.
It was like a few JDM cars I'll never see in my life, and a couple motorcycles.
A couple pairs of
But
shorts.
she
you're
does
never
have
gonna
a dress that she's never going to wear again.
Okay,
That's good.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I have a bunch of drunk relatives. Well, they're probably still sleeping it off.
GSG's in the
You
heezy.
were saying that your daughter's dress weighed how much?
55 pounds.
What the McFuck, man?
It had chainmail.
Did she have to train for the wedding?
I was going to say, I have actual real Roman armor that's made out of real steel, and it weighs a little more than that. Not much, though. Not much. It's very
I think it
close
was
to that.
Kevlar with a ceramic ballistic plate.
Well, that was just the chastity chastity belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He pounded right through that.
No, boy. Too soon, man. Too soon.
It's all about honor. Get on it.
You know, stay on it. That's right. That is it. Do you know I've been saying that for 20 years, and Merritt just heard it the other day? What? I've been saying that little phrase and you guys know I get stuck with a phrase, and I'm on it for a minute. And I said that in front of the doctor, and so we were somewhere, and I said that in mixed company. And Merritt shot me a look, and she was just like, "What the fuck was that?" And I was like, "What?" And she goes, she's laughing, but she's also angry. And she's like,
I lost you.
"Oh, yeah?"
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I didn't
Are you
stop
good,
talking.
Cinch?
Yeah, I can hear everything.
Check.
Are you
yeah,
back?
I'm out.
Okay,
Start wiggling
start
that
wiggling
shit.
wires in that little thing. That's what makes
That's
your
fine as long as it's not.
yeah. That's what makes
Yeah,
your
yeah,
ears
check.
louder. Yep. Yeah. There's a thing that goes into for all you guys that
The
are
mashy
playing at
one is
home.
the intake if all of them are out.
Yep.
I'm good.
Now it's back. Now it's
Okay,
back.
there you go.
Whatever, Cinch. Just stand there, Cinch.
Yeah, perfect. I like that. And if you guys are playing at home, that's it. But the funny thing is, when your wife, who you've been with for 30 goddamn years, oh, it's Colleen. Hey, Colleen. Renee's got a wingman tonight. Renee and Colleen are here. Oh my. Oh, they're going in the back to work on bikes. Fantastic. Good idea. By the way, did I mention Cleveland Moto's looking for a mechanic? So you got that. Well, I said that, and my wife just didn't think that was funny at all. And I was like, that's fucking hilarious. And she was like, I said, you're allowed to laugh. And then she laughed. And I was like, okay, cool. It is funny. So, yeah. So just get over yourself. Get over your goddamn self, woman. Right. All that.
It's like people that get mad about fictitious stories. that
Look,
are
she's
funny.
getting backed up on all that meditation.
Yeah.
That's it. It's got her full. It's just too full of meditation. Yeah, she's hitting that. The closer she gets to enlightenment, the less silly things are. So yeah, we can't have that. That's not good at all.
There's only a T and a C between medication and meditation.
Yes. What a difference. Yeah, that's a huge difference. What I wanted to just bring up briefly, the EICMA show, that's over now. And so everybody who was at the EICMA show with anything resembling a camera took pictures, posted it up to social media, shared all their great images of all the fun and different things at EICMA. And so there's two things I want to put a moratorium on. I would like to put a moratorium on any discussion of electric motorcycles that you cannot actually purchase. Okay.
Or that they don't have at least 100 made.
Also true. That's
There's
a good
lot
one.
of people that have 3.
They
and
have
they're
one.
Like, yeah, right.
They have 2.
Yeah.
They have 3.
I'll be honest, I'm just tired of hearing like, oh, there's this new one and there's this new one and there's this new one.
yeah.
Like, I'm over it. I'm done.
It's just
Give me a break.
it's just too much. So I think we should just have a self-imposed moratorium on anything that you cannot actually purchase.
Right.
And I think that's a good idea. Of a run of 100 is probably a decent idea.
'cause I mean, like, there's so many of these.
Right.
Like, every time you turn around, there's a fat tire. Like, and now they're calling them motorcycles.
Look, man,
too.
we've already talked about it too much.
Yeah.
All right. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is this. Guys, China is the new Japan. China today is what Japan was in 61, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not going to be a news flash for anybody that a company with a name that you have a hard time pronouncing or may look kind of silly is producing a motorcycle that you may be interested in. And you're allowed to be interested in it.
I found the best. I was going to screenshot it and send it to you guys, but I forgot because I was busy.
Right.
This guy was commenting on Triumph's page on Facebook, and he was like, "Are you guys going to adjust your pricing now that you're made in Taiwan?" Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "Well, blah. What do you have?" And he's like, "Well," and the guy says, "Well, what kind of a motorcycle do you have?" He goes, "I have a fucking BMW 310 made in fucking Germany or whatever." Right?
No, not even close.
The guy was like, "I'm taking too much pleasure in telling you this."
Right.
But your bike was made in China, sir.
You're about to have a really tough come to Jesus moment.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot of stuff. Okay. Acknowledge that it's a world economy. Acknowledge that Honda has many, many motorcycles that are made in China that are sold in this country. And that Honda has, a metric shit ton of motorcycles that are made in Thailand. But also keep in mind that Honda builds motorcycles all over the fucking planet. Yes. And that Honda...
Even in America.
Even in America. Yes, even in America. Even in God's of all places,
I don't know.
Ohio.
Ohio.
Yeah, they just brought it back though. Didn't they just bring the production back into Ohio? Because they removed the Goldwing and sent them to back to Japan.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't in the market.
A few years ago
Yeah.
they retracted or they pulled the Marysville plant where
Oh,
they were
really?
making Goldwings and
Okay.
they brought production back into Japan.
At this point in 2022, moving into 2023 in a month, can we all just kind of move to the fact that, like, the company matters more than the origin of manufacture? Meaning that, like, Honda's going to have your back if you buy a Honda, And even if the Honda's made in China, it's still you're dealing with Honda. So your warranties, your claims and stuff are going to be easy. But, if you buy a Fling Poo from China, then, you're on your own for the warranty. I think that's what we're coming to. It's like...
Yeah. And please understand that you will always be able to find a perfectly good example of a complete and utter devastating dumpster fire of a Chinese-built motorcycle. Yes, you will. I assure you, you are going to be able to find Zhongshens that were amazing pieces of shit in 2008. And you're going to be able to find Zhongshens that right now in 2022, 2023 are going to be really, really excellent motorcycles. That's a fact.
Because they got better at what they're doing.
Well, the guy paying to have it built decided to allow them to put more money into it. And that's the biggest part about China, is that you will find that whereas you like to think that Honda only builds the finest quality motorcycles, but I assure you, you should ride a Honda Navi, and then you will understand that Honda will build you a $580 shitbox too. Okay?
Have you seen the marketplace? The Navis are floating in.
Are they?
Like,
John's
remember
favorite
they were
bike.
all the 4,000, everybody's paying 4,000,
Yeah,
3,500,
yeah,
whatever.
right.
Now average about 18 to 22.
Oh yeah,
All day long.
All day long, right? And they're gonna
Great city motorcycle.
look. The point being, there is no longer something that we need to say that if your best argument for me is yes, but it's a Honda. Fuck you.
Yeah.
All right, because Honda will, with their licensing and companies that produce for them all over the world, India, China, go figure, Honda will build anything that market. Keep in mind, it's that market.
Right.
That Navi was built for an Indian market where they knew they had to hit a price point of what would be the equivalent of around $600 US. Right. Honda said, yes, I see your challenge and I will meet it. if I build everything down to this price point, put a little tiny carburetor on it, put drum brakes on the front and the back, I can get your price point of $600. Well, guess what, guys? That's exactly what all the Chinese companies have been doing since 2002, 2004. So when you say, I am holding in my hands the keys to a 2006 Zongshen that is the garbagiest piece of garbage I've ever garbaged, okay? And yet somebody then rolls in with the keys in their hand to a brand new Zongshen Cyclone or whatever it might be, that's a 3-cylinder 800cc fuel injected bike with 120 horsepower, right? That they may not be the same bike, right? Because Zongshen has said, okay, if your company is paying us to build a bike for you, and we put a BMW logo on the side of it, or we put a KTM or Ducati logo or something on the side of it, well, then we also might build some for ourselves that maybe don't have the same traction control, maybe have slightly different bodywork, right? That's the thing we're going to have to be able to realize. There are many, many companies that have outsourced giant portions of their manufacturing to China. And these Chinese companies, well, once they've got all that, they're not going to just be like, oh, our commitment to KTM is sacred.
I don't think I'd be very happy if I sourced motorcycles from China and then they turned around and started producing them under their own badge.
I'm sorry, can you say Royal Alloy?
Well,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
And like CF Moto with
CF
KTM,
Moto,
like,
exactly.
But I think that was an agreed upon thing. I think they said like for so many years we'll produce this exclusively, but then after that term, then we can produce our
I
thing.
don't think normal agreements really apply.
That's the
China?
first part.
In
You
China.
Yeah,
are not kidding.
But don't you think though, like when you get somebody with like to the point of like a CF Moto and something,
Right.
they've already developed, like they're starting to play in our business world now, like kind of with our rules.
No, they don't play. China will never play.
No, I don't.
China will never play in the Western rules. They'll use it for their convenience.
Right.
They'll do whatever it takes to get our business, and then they'll do whatever they
Do you
fucking
think,
want.
They'll steal whatever they
but do you
need to.
think that
Yeah.
like CF Moto is going to go and develop a relationship and build stuff enough that they can work with KTM and they're going to fuck KTM? Somebody that's probably
Well, KTM's going to say, what are we going to do? I mean, where are we going to build it? Where are we going to get this price point?
Exactly.
So we still have to build it in China. China's got them by the balls, and China knows that they do.
Yeah.
And who's going to buy a KTM 390 that costs $15,000? Nobody.
Nobody, especially when they know that same exact motor. So
I love the picture that Nick sent today.
Oh yeah, that
It pictures paints it says 1,000 words.
what is that?
the 390.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
390 with the crankshaft hanging out
Yeah.
the bottom.
Well, see, I was
It didn't
surprised.
throw a rod. It didn't duff a piston. No, the whole motor went, "Puh,"
Yeah.
and there is your crankshaft.
Yep.
Spit it out the bottom.
See, but I was surprised that it just wasn't like a bunch of little pebbles in there.
Well, you know what's interesting though? You know what though? There was a telltale sign about that motor though. The crank came out, the motor split in half, and there was about 8 teaspoons of oil on the ground.
No, there was 6 quarts of oil leading up to the scene of the
Yeah,
explosion.
there was another shot that
yeah.
showed all the oil. And
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
He
okay.
did that gentleman had been losing the oil for no short period of time.
Don't
Okay.
give a fuck
Right.
about oil. There is no way in hell a bike should explode the cases.
No, you're right.
And
You're
throw
right.
the
You're right.
crankshaft out the fucking
Yeah,
That's exactly
you're
right.
bottom of the motor.
There's a picture for you. KTM
I mean,
Duke
your
390.
piston could go away. Your piston should seize up.
Right.
Or the motor should have just seized like any other bike.
No, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right.
Like a good American bike. Or a good Italian bike. It should just seize.
Any other bike except a Chinese bike where the fucking guts blow apart.
So for people who weren't paying attention, right? So 2016, 17, whatever, right? KTM had no small problem with the motors failing in the KTM 390s.
Because the cases were made out of gingerbread.
They've had, yeah, well, yeah. I'm gonna
Step up from Swiss cheese.
I'm gonna go real far
Oh, yeah, there's the oil.
to tell you that metallurgy, right? Metallurgy was the concern.
It's kind of important.
Okay.
It seems like there's a lot of those. That's not the same bike.
No,
is it?
this Sleepy.
Oh.
I'm going to tell you that the incidences of this are in the hundreds.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Does that go for the 390 Adventure too?
Yes. So here's
All the same motor.
Right. So here's what we're going to talk about that. Okay. So we're going to talk about the problems with, KTM Duke 390s. Now, these particular bikes were made in India. Okay. These are manufactured in India, right? And so when you do look at motorcycles like the KTM Duke 390 and the BMW G310R, right? We are going to be looking at motorcycles that were built by somebody other than you'd expect, right? Because BMW, Germany. Yep.
So are you suggesting with these to purchase the extended warranty?
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
I'll take the 10-year warranty,
The
please.
10-year extended warranty. Yeah.
Who made those, like Tata or something? Or who?
I gotta think about whether I do not off the top. No, but I think it was a manufacturer that might be
Where's
Bajaj.
Tata
It might
makes
be
it?
Bajaj.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember who the partnership was with. I can't tell you at the moment.
When you melt down battleships and you have all that sand in your alloy.
Yeah. But anyway, so we can tell you here at the shop, we had one that came in, and before it left our shop, it had a head gasket leak that was no bueno on a motor that had less than 1,200 miles on it.
Wow.
Okay. And so that was a tough one. And that one, we did take full advantage of the fact that KTM was going after the owners and sending a letter out to the owners saying, if you bring it into the shop, we're going to give you a new top end. Jeez. Right? And so we took that bike to a KTM dealer because, again, it had come into our shop as a trade, right? And so we told the fella, we are not going to take this vehicle in on trade until you've done the work, until the work is done. Because I don't want to be the one calling the KTM dealer and saying, yeah, by the way, where's our freaking bike? And where we are here, it's not easy to find a KTM dealer. KTM dealer is 100 plus miles away. So we were in a bad spot. We agreed to take the bike in on trade, but we agreed only once it got a clean bill of health and had that warranty upgrade done to it. I'm going to be incredibly clear with you that this problem with the 390s, it was not an isolated case. It took us a very, very long time. It took the owner of that bike a very, very long time to get that bike back. And once he got the bike back, we did take it. We had agreed upon to take it in trade, and we did take it in on trade. And it cycled its way out of our shop in less than 14 days. As soon as it came in, there was a buyer for it. It came and it went. Now, maybe it's perfect. Maybe it's totally fine. It'll be fine for the rest of time. I don't know. Would I run right out now and say, "Ooh, I've got some money burning a hole in my pocket. I think I'd like to buy a 2016, 2017, KTM Duke 390." No way in fucking hell.
I've just had a lobotomy. I think I want to buy a KTM 390.
Yeah, and I do not believe that anything that they did from a manufacturing standpoint, these engine explosions that you're seeing are very fucking catastrophic. These are not minor, oh, look, it just lost some coolant. No, these are catastrophic failures. Jeez. So that's one of those things that I would say, keep in mind, guys. Let's just acknowledge that we're going to see motorcycles coming from all kinds of different places. There is no acid test right now that says, oh, okay, well, if it comes from Taiwan, it's got to be great, and if it comes from China, it's got to be shit. No, that's absolutely not the case.
To be fair, I mean, Honda had a problem with its CBR 250 motors and stuff like that.
Not just a little problem. Not just a little problem.
The fucking crank wasn't blowing out the bottom of the motor. It was still rebuildable.
Right. Yeah, and it is a giant pain in the ass job. And it is something that Honda copped up to and made the kits available to dealers. And dealers were very sad about the fact that they had to do every single one of these bikes, right? That you had to do timing chain, you had to do piston rings, wrist pin, you had to do it all, right? You had to do every bit of it. And when you're taking a brand new motorcycle and it looks like that in your garage or at your dealership, right? That's a tough day, man, right? That's a tough fucking day. And it takes away a shit ton of consumer confidence. It really does.
But that's fixed in the 300s, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And it's that kind of a thing. So just, This is one of my favorite things is when they have the stop sale notices. As a dealer, I get these from time to time.
Jeez.
And it's one of those things where they literally are just saying, hey guys, in case you didn't get the memo, stop selling those. Right? Just that tells you there's something catastrophically wrong. We'd like to do damage control, but we don't really know how wrong it's going to be yet.
So just send them back to us. We'll take them. We'll give your money back.
They didn't say
You
that.
can put it on your own. Keep your
They
money
said
somewhere
stop
else.
selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's as
Yeah.
far as they go.
No, it didn't stop the days on your floor plan.
Fuck them.
Jimmy that bought it on Tuesday? Fuck Jimmy.
Can we stop the interest?
It's his problem now.
Yeah, it's like a friend of mine worked for a major car manufacturer, and she was an engine inspector. And like every 100th engine was a piece of crap, and like a bad casting or something.
Yeah.
So she would pull it off to the side and say, "This engine has to be shouldn't be put in the car." And they would put it right back in line, build the engine, and put it in the car, and say, "Let the dealer deal with it."
Let the dealer deal with it. Absolutely.
So then that person buys this lemon of a car with a car with a lemon of an engine, I should say.
Yep.
It blows up, and then it's cheaper for them
eat it.
and then they eat the cost of putting a new engine in it. But even though their inspectors found the problem and could have just removed it and stopped that problem.
Right. And that's been going on for a long time. If you North Star, how many General Motors vehicles got North Star engines in them? And yet, if you're a person that knows anything about North Star engines, you'll know that the clock is ticking.
Or Honda GM 4-speed transmissions in their Honda Odysseys that didn't oil their second gear. That every second gear blew up on them.
Guaranteed. Yeah. So that's one of those things. But I would like to clarify, we have seen there will be cases, and it's until that there are enough units on the road, until there's enough bikes going on. If you said, well, I'm going to buy this Chinese bike because it's super cheap. It's a sore dick deal, right? And you might acknowledge it might be a sore dick deal. That's great. I assure you, if you don't have the skill set to conquer the problems it may have, and you don't get a signed letter from your dealer that says, I promise to work on this bike 4 years from now, right? You could be in a really bad fucking spot, because we have seen companies leave America. We've seen companies go the fuck out of business. And we have been, and these are big companies that you've heard of, that it just became absolutely impossible for you to get your vehicle that you bought and paid good money for serviced.
So even for those less expensive motorcycles that people are dicking around, shouldn't you just see it as some sort of consumable, like a weed whacker or something
Maybe.
like that?
And that might
after
be
3 years, if it goes to shit, it goes to shit. And you save money by not spending it up front.
Yep.
That's the way you got to look at it.
Yeah.
But vehicles to me are not like that.
No,
but
but
regardless
Steve,
of the
Steve, you are not that demographic, though.
well, that's
So
I guess that's true.
remember,
The people he's talking about is the ones that want a bike for $600 or as
Well, they
cheap as
probably
they
only
can
drive
find.
it 600 miles.
Well, so if it blows up on you, it's a consumable
So-
thing. You had fun with it for $600 and adios.
and that's the trick. My grandfather said that he wasn't wealthy enough to buy cheap. Okay? He says, I don't have enough money to buy cheap shit. He only bought quality tools, right? He only bought quality tools because he could only afford to buy them once. And he couldn't afford to have them break when he was right in the middle of a job. He didn't have time to stop the job and go get tools, extra tools, and tools that didn't break. He couldn't afford to buy cheap. And that's one of the things I've kept with me for a really long time. Yes, absolutely. If you know how to fly, you don't need to buy an expensive parachute if you know how to fly. But if you don't know how to fly, a really good quality parachute is going to be high on your list of things when you jump out of an airplane. Fair enough, right? That's a true thing. If you can hold your breath underwater for 6 minutes, you may not need the world's greatest snorkel, right? But if you can't, you may have to make up for it in column A, right? So when you're looking at these motorcycles, keep in mind that somebody once says the the joy of low price expires long before the sting of a bad investment, right? It's that kind of a thing, and I totally get it. Please understand that when we're talking about stuff here and in the motorcycle industry, we can only be the change we want to see around us. So, yes, if Slappy,
I promise to build a better motorcycle.
well, if Slappy Fling Dong comes out with a 650cc V twin that is only $2,199, please do not report that. Did you see that Slappy Fling Dong's got a V twin copy of an SV650 and it's only $2,199? Shut up.
Royal Enfield Meteor.
Well, also, I mean, I know that a motorcycle is a luxury item.
Yeah.
I
Well,
get it.
for us. in
No,
other
in
places.
general. Well, yeah, if in another countries, that's the only
Right.
way they can actually move around. The problem I see is that this is a life or death situation. If that fucking bike blows up going 60 or 70 anywhere,
Yeah.
you're fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, I bought a cheap tool, it's going to break. No whoop. I'll buy another one. Maybe I'll spend some more money on a good one this time around.
That chainsaw
That-
just, blew up and the chain hit me right in the forehead.
Right. I mean, that's when it gets scary. I mean,
Since we're talking about Chinese bikes, you have to go to Confucius. And Confucius say,
oh my.
you buy expensive quality bike, you cry once.
Right,
you buy
right.
cheap bike, you cry many times.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And Confucius apparently was Italian or something at the end there. I don't know.
It was Kevin Castor in Waterworld.
It's a big risk more than just your wallet.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Please,
saying.
okay, so let's just try to fix the problem. So let's fix the problem. So I had a customer today calling me about this particular bike. I pulled it up on our sheet. See it? And so this
Oh, boy.
is...
That's a handsome machine there.
But the point, this is very simple. This is Amazon.com.
Amazon.
This is $1,250, okay? This is $1,250.
3 stars.
It does have a $400. It does have a flip for. Steve says it's perfectly cromulent.
Yeah, because it's 3 stars.
3 stars.
Wow.
Right? It's got 3 stars.
No, but look at it. It doesn't have the 3 stars in the right place.
Yeah, it doesn't have
It's
the 3
only
stars.
it's sagging in the center.
It's sagging in the. So yeah, 30% of the reviews were 5 stars. 30% of the reviews were 1 star. But here's my point, and this is simply it. I'm not talking. I don't even want to talk about this particular bike because we could point out everything on this bike that's wrong with it that I also feel is wrong with the Navi. The difference is it's a bigger sin with the Navi because it's got a Honda badge on it, and people
Right.
are inferring that it's a high quality machine just because it has a Honda badge on it. Yes, I think everybody sitting at this table would know that this bike is a $1,250 piece of fucking poo, right?
Right now, somebody is riding a Navi around the world. You'll see.
Shut up with the Navi.
They can ride around the world. That still doesn't make it a good bike because
We
many
really never missed you.
many shitty fucking bikes have been ridden around the world. I read a story about a gentleman that rode a Rokon Trailbreaker over the Himalayas. It's still one of the goddamn worst motorcycles I've ever ridden. So everything about it is fucking garbage.
Maybe you put a CT90 motor in it, and then it was a little bit better.
But the point being, riding something. Hey guys,
It's like riding 2 barrels.
James and I rode a Mad Ass across America. It doesn't make it a good bike. Okay? Yeah, we can give you firsthand information on that. Just because 2 guys ride a motorcycle across America doesn't mean it's a good bike. And just because a guy rides a bike around the world doesn't mean it's a good bike.
Navi's a great bike.
Yeah,
I still
best
love
in
the
world,
name
right?
Madass on a bike that had a terrible seat, which is just the greatest thing ever.
Well, that's like the new 2500cc Triumph Small
Should have
Dick.
been called Monkey Butt.
Yeah, monkey butt, chapped ass. But the point being, this motorcycle exists. It claims to be DOT approved. It exists on the planet. It's made in China. It's $1,250 for a 250cc motorcycle.
Don't forget to cut the MCO off the box.
This motorcycle is garbage. Okay? The point being, we just want to acknowledge that it exists and let's not give it any more fucking oxygen.
Yeah.
Because the more that we talk about it gives it credibility. And that's the thing is it has no credibility. And somebody on YouTube is going to buy 3 of them and they're going to be like, yeah, it's great. We've been running around the farm on these things for 18 months. There's no shortage of YouTube clickbait that says, I bought the cheapest whatever on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
No, if you want to have an awesome afternoon of reading, if it's snowing and raining outside and you just want to laugh all day long,
Yeah.
go on over to ChinaRiders.net.
Sure.
And just look through those forums.
Of course. Because it's all about, look, I only paid $1,200 for it. I put another $4,000 into it.
Right.
And now I have an $800 bike.
Right.
And that's exactly what it is. There is just no fucking shortage to that shit. And everyone's like, no, it's great now. It's great now. It's cool. I put all this money and all this time into it. It broke down on me 347 times. I've been late to work 14 times this month. But it's great now. And now it's every bit as good as Kawasaki's worst bike. Yeah. Now it's every bit as good as Honda's worst bike. No, it's fuck it, man. And having kind of an argument about that for people and letting people have that and say, look, I want to have a motorcycle, but my budget really only allows me to have this. I fucking assure you, you're not ready to have a motorcycle yet. You
You're not
need to
ready
keep
to have
saving.
a bicycle.
You just need to keep saving. You know, that's just what it comes down to. If your solution is to have a $1,500 fake Grom, right, an X Pro Vader, if your solution is that's what you can afford, right, if you can't go out and find a $1,500, you know, Ninja 300, ask people you know and love if they will fix this bike for you. Because if your uncle or your dad or your mom says she's not going to fix it for you, because those are the only people that are going to give you labor for free. If they won't fix it for you, then you should be looking at a 4 or 5 or 6 or 10-year-old vehicle that somebody will fix for you and where the parts are available and attainable on this planet.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way. So
Yeah.
I bought that Chinese Grom
You did.
for the specific point of taking it to Mid-Ohio and beating the shit
Yeah,
out
but
of it.
do you know what it was?
No, but what I'm getting at, though, is to Phil's point,
Did you do that with somebody else's brain or did you do that with your brain?
well, with my brain.
Right,
Well, there you
because
go.
your brain
Yes.
can fix and build anything.
No, that's
Right.
what I was going to say, is that, like, so what, to my point,
Yeah.
the thing came, right?
Right.
I basically disassembled the whole thing.
Yes.
Reassembled
Yeah.
it with Loctite and all this shit.
Yeah.
And my hopes was it was just going to make it through 5 days.
Right.
So, like,
the bar was pretty fucking low. at the
Right,
beginning.
right.
fucking
Yeah.
low.
But that's my point is these people are buying this thing for like transportation.
Right.
And most of them are not even disassembling it and reassembling it
No, because they don't know any better.
to last for
They
a
don't
week,
know.
let alone the entire fucking
Okay.
existence.
Right.
Right.
So the biggest mistake I ever made, and the reason we're bringing it up, is I sold a motorcycle here at the shop. You guys may have seen it, called the Razcall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? You guys might remember the Razcall, right?
Yeah.
I sold 4 of them. Why? Because I watched some YouTube videos and they all kind of said, it was a pretty good bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I can tell you?
Not.
It's not a pretty good bike, right? It's a really, really not good bike, okay? Now, is it a really, really good bike in your garage? Probably.
All right.
It's a lay down 125 motor. Could John and Steve keep this bike alive for 20 years? Fuck yeah, absolutely. There's enough shit in the world of Predator engines alone that you guys could own this bike. Absolutely, I guarantee it. You guys could have a lot of fun with this bike for $2,000. Absolutely. And it's fucking way better than a Navi. Same price. Okay, but
We'll just have to agree to disagree.
every single person that bought one was not John or Sleepy
Right.
or Steve, right? Every person that bought this bike bought it because that's what they could afford. And that's the trap.
problem, yes.
That's the trap. So you have to be self-aware and look at your skill set. Understand what you know how to do. Because if you don't know how to do this, and if you don't know how to keep that motherfucker alive, and you show up at, the SSR dealer and you say, yeah, dude, my bike broke again. Okay. Well, one, it's going to be pretty easy for me to tell you why the bike broke, right? Because if you think that you can be rough on these things, you can't be rough on these things. You got to be gentle. You got to break them in super careful. You got to change the oil constantly. You got to go real easy on the clutch. You can't put too much stress on them. You will find the weak link real fast with these fucking bikes.
QC is definitely
The QC is right. And there's
Like,
a whole lot of
they're jigs, like things that like you take for granted on commercially made bikes.
Yeah.
Like the seat mounting holes being in the right place.
I'm going to tell you, a lot of this bottom end shit, they are relying on you, the customers, to do the heat treating.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it.
Or impossible screws where like literally like the thing to take something off is put on and then they weld a part over it and they're just like fucking deal with it.
Done
Dude.
with it.
Like,
So I really got it. I'm just going to warn people straight up. If your statement is, this is all I can afford,
Don't do it.
don't do it.
Yeah.
Just
Hold off.
don't do it. Hold off, or again, do some research. Talk to some people that you love. Talk to some people who care about you. Some people that might honestly give a shit if you come back missing a foot or something, right? Talk to people who care, right? Talk to people who care, because as long as we know that you can buy a totally fucking rockin' fuel injected Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha for $2,000, and I've had many of them go through the shop with CCs bigger than 500 that are a much, much better motorcycle than this crap. So please, 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 please do not become part of the problem by extolling the virtues of latest, ABC 125, Fling Poo, whatever the fuck it is. Right?
And the thing is, it's not with the internet, as bad as the internet can be, there are some good things. So like, for instance, if you typed in TNT 135,
Right.
there might be one or two like exception things where there's somebody's like, oh, this bike sucks. But generally you're going to find 95%
The
of it
TNT
saying,
135 is not a cheap bike.
well, no, but what I'm saying though is like, what I'm saying, like you'll get like, you're always going to have some asshole that's like, this thing sucks.
Of
So you
course
got to
you
take
are.
those for granted. But
Yeah.
when 95% of the reviews are like, this is great.
Right.
So like use the internet. Like if
Like
you
a
look up,
Janus.
if you look up,
95% of the reviews are great.
oh, I'm sure. But if you look up the Rascal 125, you're going to find a lot more people saying like, this thing sucks. It's broken. It's bubble. It's
Say
everywhere.
anything. You run a high pass and a low pass filter through any
Yeah,
review.
right.
You don't give the
I'm sure
fanboys
there's-
a chance.
yeah.
You don't give the people who have a
There's
bug
a
up
lot
their ass
of
a
one-star
chance.
reviews for Toyota Tacoma pickup trucks,
Right.
You're going to have that, right? That's exactly right. That will happen. Just letting folks know.
But that's why I think the curve, if it's like angled up
Yeah.
towards 5, it's different than if it's a U-shaped
Yeah,
curve.
U-shaped
And
curve.
it's like, if it's a U-shaped curve, it's probably a piece of shit.
Look, my shop is very simple. We have customers that are either giving us 5-star ratings or giving us 1-star ratings.
And most
right?
of those have never been here.
That's fine. We understand. It's
Judge
fine.
Judy.
Judge Judy, right? That's a people's court. That hurt us a lot.
Dude, I saw a tattoo and I thought of you the other day. I was like, you don't have any, and this might have to be your first one.
Oh, really?
It just said, only Judge Judy can judge me.
Only Judge Judy can judge me. Only Judge Milan can judge
Yeah.
me. So, anybody do their homework tonight?
Well, yeah, I brought up my boat.
Well, you
CCAT.
copied my fucking results, man.
No, I said I brought up the sea aging.
Oh, sea aging was your topic?
That was my topic.
Oh, man.
I was too excited.
All right.
I had documentation, scientific proof.
Meckelfresh, did you do your homework?
I did a little bit.
Okay, what are you going to talk about today?
Well, I was just reading up on, I was looking for something, and then I came across, there's a lot of ta-da about the new Honda Transalp,
Yeah.
the XL 750 Transalp, and I like the XL 750 designation better. That's also nice. I like
It
the
is.
XLs. Honda
I
XL.
love I do too. Everyone's arguing about what are they going to call it? I think calling it an XL 750 is the perfect fucking name.
But one of the things they went into some detail talking about was the Unicam motor. Who knows what a Unicam motor is?
Whoa.
You got just one
Wait,
cam?
no, wait a second. So are you saying that they're using a baby Africa twin motor in the Transalp and not the NC motor?
Well, let's talk about what a Unicam motor is first for our listeners.
That's okay.
So as you might guess,
I didn't even know about that,
A
by the way.
Unicam motor is going to be how many cams?
One cam.
One cam.
And
One
cam.
But
I
how
thought
many
it was going
valves?
to be like a
How
glittery
many
cam.
valves? It's going to be four
4
valves.
valves. Right.
So if you look, really one of the first Unicams was the CRF 450.
Absolutely.
So that is where you have one cam.
Right.
It's pushing the intake valves are usually on the CRF. It's shim over bucket. But then there's a finger or a rocker that runs off of that same cam that has a tappet adjustment that is working the exhaust valves. Or no, On the CRF 450, though, they actually had a third lobe in the middle that ran a forked rocker for the exhaust. So,
So it's just
but it was still it's using a Unicam motor.
I love that.
Yeah.
John, that's badass.
Is it chain driven or gear driven?
So it's gear driven, and that intermediate wigwag, right?
Yeah.
That is very fucking cool.
What's that chain?
So
Yeah,
the
look
advantage is
So this chain is your overhead cam chain.
Yeah.
They're not showing you the front of it because it would obscure the view of the valves and the top of the piston. So it isn't just a one-way chain, right? But that drive chain is going to run your cam off of your crank at the bottom. And then up here, the magic of this system and how the magic of it works is it's got that brilliant one.
they call it a finger.
Yeah, it's what it is. It's a finger, but there's a link behind the back of the finger. So where the spark plug hole goes into the front of the cylinder between the two exhaust valves. So it's two gazintas and two gazzautas, right? And then you've got this basically a split finger with one roller on the backside that runs against the cam, and then the cam directly affects the intake ports.
Right.
So the cam directly affects the intake ports, and the rocker or the fingers affect the exhaust ports. It's really,
So would
really
there
So the
be-
cool.
cam only has, I think, 2 lobes on it.
It does look like it has
The
3
one-
lobes.
Well,
It looks like
the
it has
CRF 450 had 3 lobes.
3 lobes, yeah.
But when
right.
I was looking at some of the pictures, it
Yeah.
looked like the one lobe was pushing
Right.
down the intake.
Yeah.
And then as it rotated around, it was opening up the exhaust.
The exhaust, bad ass.
That's pretty
And
cool.
I could be wrong, and I was trying to figure out what the
It looks like it
adjustment-
has an inner runner and an outer runner. So
Okay,
you see
maybe.
that roller finger?
Yeah.
So that roller finger that you see there, that roller finger is running with a big, beautiful, giant roller. I mean, the size of that fucking roller
It's massive, yeah.
plenty big, 13, 14 millimeters.
Yeah.
That's running on the cam that's at the extreme end of the camshaft. And then more inbound, you've got a wider webbed cam, a more traditionally sized cam.
because it's probably running shim and bucket.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly right. Because the exhaust cam, you see what's on there, buddy.
Tappet adjustment.
Tappet adjustments.
So where's your most of your adjustments going to be on the exhaust?
Always on the exhaust side. And I love that, John. That's fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that's the only
Because-
adjustment you
So,
can
but
do.
that is
right?
this. That is a smaller version.
Yeah.
Of the Africa Twin is running that.
The Africa Twin is gear driven cam though.
Yeah, gear driven cam.
But is
Exactly
it
right.
single or double?
It's a single cam, gear driven. I think it's the alternators on the end of the cam, I believe. I mean, it's got or the oil pump.
The oil pump, yeah.
The oil
I
pump
thought
runs
so.
on the end of
Yeah,
the cam.
I thought so. But this is really clever. The Unicam idea is really
But
clever.
that's awesome.
And I also like it because you are going to be shim. You're going to be shim under bucket on this one, I guess, because you're going to pull the cam out, and that's when you're going to have those buckets. So that's really fucking cool.
So like your whatever 6,000, 10,000 mile valve adjustment.
Oh,
are
I
you
don't
only
think-
doing. Are you
yeah.
gonna have to do anything?
So in this particular, in these 700 parallel twin motors that I've been working on for other brands and other, let's just say what it is. It's Honda and Kawasaki ultimately. And so Honda, Kawasaki, parallel twin. Now everybody's doing parallel twins. I'm saying the bikes that are coming up to the right mileage, 10,000, 12,000, 15,000 miles, where they need to have these valves adjusted. I have not seen motors that are like, oh yeah, we got to adjust these valves. And on the motors where I have done, I did an NC7. Was that the NC700?
NC700, I think, is a Unicam.
I did the 700 motor, the valve adjustment on that. And when I did the valve adjustment on that, did not need to be done. So it was.
Look at the high angle of the intake.
15,000.
The intake port is like running right.
Oh, it
down.
is. Yeah, yeah. The intake port is almost a straight downdraft. That's pretty badass. I gotta say, that's really, really cool. I like that. Takes up less space and is more compact on the exhaust side of the head than the current NC750 engine. So that's pretty fucking cool. Yeah, and that's great. And that's going to give us.
Now there's
happier
different iterations of it and everything.
Yeah.
There's another one that actually has like a finger fulcrum on the intake.
Yeah.
So the cam lobe isn't actually riding on the shim and bucket.
Oh.
It rides on a finger that you could technically have a tappet here and a tappet
And
there.
it's happened there. Right.
if you wanted to do so.
That's very, and that's, again, that's Honda. That's the thing. Honda spends more time re-engineering a parallel twin 700cc motor.
And they actually pointed out that that's going to be that's the difference. You know, the new V-Strom 700 or whatever. That's a twin. That's a dual.
It's a dual overhead cam. Yeah,
but it's only it's tapping out at like 80 horsepower at 7,700 RPM.
Right.
Whereas the new Transalp is going to do 91 horsepower at 10,000 RPM.
Huh. That's inline 4 numbers out of a parallel twin.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. That is absolutely fucking cool. That's great.
And they also mentioned the Hornet 750, which I don't know if is slated for this market, but that would be the road going version of that.
I definitely, man.
Imagine a sport bike though with like an Africa Twin motor in it.
Right. I as much as you know, I'm hooked on fucking Hornets, especially when they have 4 cylinders and pipes that come out under.
It does kind of kill it for me to call it a Hornet 750.
It's another, it's just a tough thing, and that's that's just like the V-Strom 650 when it only has 2 cylinders. P-Strom.
Did you see the Transalp in black?
I did not see the Transalp in black.
Yeah,
I did not see the Transalp in black.
Am I gonna have to sell something?
Oh man,
what's going on here?
Really, John? Really? I kind of. I love the way our podcast just gave a universal.
No gold rims.
Yeah. Oh man.
No, it's got to be the original. Look at that. That's fucking perfect, man.
Yeah, I gotta say the red, white, and blue color scheme.
Yeah.
And the gold rims.
Nobody's buying the black.
Well, there's going to be that guy.
I don't know.
Because I couldn't get the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, that would be the one, right? Yeah, the Honda design team is just like, okay, we're going to make 2 black ones this year.
You know what, though? The black bike would be a great candidate for like a graphics kit. There's going to be somebody out there that makes a killer graphics kit.
I don't know. If they kept the gold rims, that would have helped a lot.
The black bike looks so boring.
It looks like a silhouette.
It should have been black and gold. Trans Am it.
They should have Trans Am it.
They could look at. They have a little bit of red going on. They could have redded out those rims and.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. Boy, the black one does look cheap, doesn't it?
Just looks like a silhouette.
Oh man. Yeah. Masatoshi Sato. It does look like It does. It really does look boring.
That is a solid looking bike, though, man.
In the red, white, and blue livery with the gold rims, it really does look pretty. It does look really nice. It looks neat. A lot of it, though, looks cheap to me. So there's a lot of pieces on this bike that look like they were like, and we're going to save 75 cents here. And we're going to save 75 cents there.
Well, they couldn't fuck with the Africa Twin. They're not going to cut their own legs off to fuck with the Africa Twin. So
but they seriously said, hey guys, engineering team, design team, come on in here. Great. At the end of the day, we're just letting you know that no matter what you do, the price point of this bike is going to be $9,999 or something like that.
So if you want a TFT, then it's got to come out of here.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. They were like, gold rims? It'll cost you smarts. Right. Okay, gold rims? Seat's going to suck.
Yep.
That's it. Oh, so what you want there? You want the red, white, and blue trim sticker package on the side? It's going to be the world's worst horn. You are gonna give it up somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's fucking true. I mean, there are parts of that bike that look amazing, and there are parts of that bike that look like it was lowest fucking bidder.
Well, that's kind of like the NC 750 and 700. Like, like when you get it, it literally has the same speedometer as the Tao Hellcat.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's a whole lot of that. Yeah. There's a whole lot of that.
You have to put it under your chin.
It's He's gonna prop. He's gonna put a little neck sling in there for him. Excellent. Okay, who else did homework today?
All right, talking about red, white, and blue bikes.
Red, white, and blue bikes?
Oh yeah.
Another one.
We like red, white, and blue bikes.
The MV Agusta concept bike of a cafe racer for 2024. It's the 921S.
Whoa! Wait a second. 921S?
Yep. Yes. And that was the one that with the race packet? Or no, the other one was race package.
No, that was the other one. Yeah.
But they're getting like ridiculous horsepower out of this thing.
Yeah, that's that one that you.
That's that one. Oh my fucking God! Fucking hell!
Yep.
You know,
little knobby thingy seat in the back.
Oh, man.
Has to keep you on it.
It's a juice fest, man.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that thing's sexy.
Okay.
114 horsepower.
So when you look at the old MV Agusta 750S, right?
God, that's sexy.
So that was the bike. So the old MV Agusta 750S in the red, white, and blue livery. This is a bike that we saw at the Isle of Man Museum when we were there.
Yeah.
And it's just a very fucking beautiful bike, right? And you can absolutely, when you take a look at this thing and you're like, oh, okay. When you look at this motorcycle,
Look at that thing.
it is so fucking good looking.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is. I mean, it's crazy good looking.
They did a good job. I mean, it
And
still keeps this sort of line as
It
the original
does.
one.
It still can be called a cafe racer. It's not a
Ish.
super sport.
Yeah.
It has a perfectly flat seat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
There's absolutely no doubt about it. It is a cafe racer by any fucking... And I love the fact that they kept the Brutale name.
Yeah.
God.
Scroll back up though. You know what's interesting about this?
Yeah.
Every time we look
everything. What's interesting?
Well, yeah,
everything. Everything
right.
is interesting.
But like every time we talk about one of these retro bikes,
Right.
they're trying to cool. They always fuck up the back.
Yes, they do.
So
Yeah.
this one, the back is it's cut off like they like to do now, but
Yeah.
somehow it doesn't look like
The
ass.
tail light does go beyond the rear axle,
Well, not
but
only
it
that,
doesn't make it all the way to the back of the tire.
Well, you know what's
right?
interesting? So like they
Yeah.
have all the swoopies and stuff
Yes,
going on.
they do.
Yeah.
But if
Yep.
you take a ruler
Yep.
and you put it on the bottom of the tank, even
Yeah.
though it's swooping around and
Doesn't
shit,
matter. Yep.
it's still flat.
It's flat. It is a
Yeah.
perfectly
They're
straight from the
fucking-
bottom of the headlight to the back of the taillight. It is a straight fucking line,
beautiful.
which is a standard rule of cafe racers. Now, here's the crazy...
Front fender.
What's that?
Look at that front.
That front fender is a work of art, and it has a chrome stay on the back of
It
it.
looks like it has a big drum. I mean, I know it's a disc.
It's
but
a disc.
solid disc.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the original, right?
okay.
So there's the original motorcycle
Yeah,
that it's based
yeah.
on, 1973 Augusta 750S,
750S. Yep.
which again,
orgasmic. yeah, it's just
fucking
Fucking
gorgeous
sexy.
motorcycle, and just gorgeous in a classic way. But this is that given the full like ninja fighting robot future
Oh, yeah.
thing, right?
like it got Blade Runnered.
It did.
Yeah.
It got sexified, and this is a pretty good example of. This is this unquantifiable regarding Italian motorcycles. When
Yeah.
you look at Italian motorcycles, you go, you know, what is this motorcycle's name? Her name is Lola,
Right.
right? what is this, you know, what is this motorcycle's name? Her name is Vanessa.
Well, that's what.
Right?
Remember we were talking earlier.
You look at a British motorcycle, you look at KROMKE's, you know, not his Triumph Adventure, but you look at his Triumph, his America, right? You look at KROMKE's Triumph
All right.
America, and his Triumph America, you're like, this motorcycle's name is Harold.
Yeah. Herbert. Well, no, remember we were talking before, and we said the whole reason that people call motorcycles and cars her,
Right.
is
yeah.
because of
yeah,
Italy.
What's her name? What's her name? It's this.
It's
if
Italy,
you look at
yeah.
this motorcycle has a fucking, this is a woman's name.
Oh, yeah.
And it is an object of art from damn near every angle.
Except for that they actually
let's
called it a
talk
Brutale.
about
They were to call it they.
what is the thing that sticks
Oh,
up in the
no.
back? The ass pounder.
Pronouns are. Right, yeah.
I
Pronouns
mean,
are.
if that thing does not like rise up as you twist the throttle,
Yes.
then I want my money back.
Yes, that
Yeah,
right. The bum stop, literally the bum stop. It is exactly what it is a bum stop.
Yeah.
It's the first bum stop I've ever seen that does look like what it should be, which is just. This should be like the wing of a 90s Porsche.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
over
yeah,
80
yeah.
miles per hour, it deploys.
Yes. And it's cool looking. That stupid little
It
bump.
is
looks
cool looking.
yeah.
Like, as much as I think it's the quirkiest, dumbest, silliest affectation
looks
thing
good.
ever, completely useless, does
Yeah.
nothing for aerodynamics, it does keep you on the goddamn motorcycle.
No
it
shit.
does that.
Well, somebody's going to have a cafe seat for that in about 5 minutes, though.
It
That's
guarantees that you're not going to have a passenger. I like the whole monoposto.
Yeah,
Like
fuck
having
that,
having an Italian motorcycle that just does one little, like, hey, look, we're designing a motorcycle. And then at the 11th hour in the 59th minute, they go, oh, and by the way, fuck you. And they put a little monoposto bump on the back. You can't possibly put a passenger
It's
on
just
it.
for me.
That's right. It's
fuck
just
you.
for me. Well, how does it handle with your wife on the back? What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?
If you look really closely, there's a small yellow sticker, and it says 210 max pounds.
Maximum
of weight.
pounds. Right. This motorcycle is literally, they're like, oh, well, why didn't you put the back seat on it?
You know what?
Because she's got her own fucking bike.
That
Yeah.
thing should be set up like the James Bond fucking the DB5 ejector seat.
Ejector
thing.
seat.
Push a button, it's just like and just
Yeah, I love
just
that.
punt her on the back.
I think that motorcycle's
Well, and look at its
gorgeous.
sister over there. The
Super
prototype thing.
Veloce?
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's the one you were talking about. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
the
Holy
Super
fuck.
Veloce is again fucking hell, man.
That's the one with the
You know
Ford
what?
exhaust in
Yamaha,
the back.
dude, this is a new style because remember the Yamaha
Yeah.
GPZ or whatever
Yeah,
has that same
yeah.
kind of nozzle on it. It's fucking sexy. Oh,
You know, the only thing that makes the front of this motorcycle look bad, and I will admit this, the front of this motorcycle
From
is
the top. Dude.
amazing. It's amazing. But then when you see the back of this motorcycle, it has the pipe organ exhausts. Mm-hmm. And the pipe organ exhaust, like 4 pipes right in a row. And then on this one, they just put a little fuck you of a tail light right in the middle. So I was like, I really like this motorcycle.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And again, even if it had 71 horsepower, I don't give a fuck.
yeah, right.
Right?
But I think it's supposed to have 220.
I
or
think you're right.
212
Yeah.
or something
I
like
think
that.
208 horsepurs.
Yeah, or no, you can get the
Balls.
race version, which is 212.
Oh, come on, 4 horsepowers, right?
Yeah.
Come on,
Balls for the
that's a
A's, man.
sandwich, right? Yeah, but that's a 1,000 cc motor, right? That's
Yeah.
a 1,000 cc motor, and God fucking damn, is it beautiful? That's
No, they're
gorgeous
going
motorcycle.
after your buddy's bike right there.
Well, but I do. But wait a second, though. Hold on. Not to bring up a dead topic. Well, I'm totally going to bring up a dead topic. Didn't we talk about John McGuinness Honda?
Oh shit! Yeah,
Wait, because I've got a
oh yeah, I sent that thing.
you sent them. Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's a
the-
Fireblade.
Yeah, Fireblade style of TT.
15 grand or something.
Yeah. So we gotta. I mean,
There it is.
yeah.
First shot.
I mean, the CBR 1000 RR SP. One of my.
Steve Offer.
Come on, man. Come on. Come on.
As a
Don't come
Honda
to the
guy.
light.
Look, I will admit, I am gay for goddamn much of anything that.
Grumpy sewer guy.
Right,
Oh.
right. Yeah. No, look, this fucking motorcycle, this is one of those things where they tried to build this CBR 1000 RR Fireblade SP. They tried to build this motorcycle and then be like, it's so exclusive. It's such a limited edition. It's to celebrate John McGuinness's 100th start at the Isle of Man TT. Fuck yeah, man. It's got gold on it. It's got a lot of gold on it. It's got so much gold on it. It's like a 70s Trans Am. But here's the wacky thing. They came out and they tried to do this thing where they were like, and it's so exclusive and it's so rare and it's one of a kind. And if you buy it, John McGuinness is going to lick the gas tank and hand you the keys himself. And this motorcycle is going to be only for a select few people and it's going to be 30,000 pounds.
30 grand. Yep.
And to that I say,
Okay.
here's my 30,000 pounds.
Right.
Because
It's good looking.
one, it's beautiful. 2, I can ride it because I can ride it. It's not something that's not designed to be ridden.
Right.
It's a completely rideable motorcycle.
Right. It's not a GP. It
Right.
says it has lights.
So
it's
I
like,
can
yep.
sell 6 motorcycles that I currently own and buy this motorcycle. That's a 6-to-1 ratio.
It might be in my garage. It's like 13 to 1.
But if I can sell 6 motorcycles I currently own and buy this motorcycle,
Yeah.
then that's a very good economy. That's not even fucking weird. That's not like when they come out with like the Keanu Reeves, Excel fucking whatever motorcycle and they're going to start at $75,000. No, that's not real. I'm not going to play that game. Right.
KTM does that all the time. They'll bring out these rally, like 25 Dakar Rally 690, whatever the fuck it is, whatever, the 890 or whatever.
This is $10,000 cheaper than Ducati's Panigale.
Right.
With nobody's signature on it.
Right.
True.
Right.
Do you know what they say about Steve's dick?
Once you get
Well, let's clarify which is Steve.
It's not 12 inches, but it smells like a foot.
We just got to shoot rubber bands at him. That's it.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
it.
get some of
Hey,
those.
get the rubber bands from down there by John. John's got the big green rubber bands. The 50 caliber rubber bands? Yeah, shoot them down to Oscar. That's great. We'll have a new game. Right, we'll have a new game. Yeah, John, we got the 50 caliber
record
rubber
it?
bands. Yeah. Yeah, there's a picture of John McGinnis signing the bike. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. I do not have a problem with this motorcycle. I don't have a problem with this motorcycle costing 30,000 pounds. I don't have a problem with anything about this bike. This is badass. I think it's great. I'm cool with it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan. Okay, who else got some story? Who else did their homework?
Sewer guy.
All right, Sewer Guy, you're up.
I have a complaint.
I like the last one.
Okay, let's talk about the non-sexy side of motorcycling.
Oh.
Well, we did. Steve's here.
So, like, I can go out. I went out and ordered the saddlebags at Panniers for my Tiger.
You did, yeah.
And they're like,
right.
2 days, they'll be here.
Right.
Come and get them.
Right.
So one of them broke. And I went in. They're under warranty. And they're like, oh.
Did the bags break or did the racks break?
The latch broke on the bag.
Okay, the latch on the bag.
Part of the
okay.
bag, right?
Okay, all right.
So they're like, oh, those are on back order until after Christmas. And I'm like, but if I wanted a pair, I can get them in 2 days. They're like, well, yeah, we have the sets, but we can't get just one for over a month. And,
Oh, that's fucked up.
That sounds
Take
like
them both back.
but I don't think that's just.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to say the
Well, right.
solution for that is
They both broke.
Tink.
I mean those are $625, right? According to the
But I think I don't think just Triumph does this. It's like if you want to buy the set, fine. But if you need a replacement part,
Yeah, well, forget
Good
that.
luck.
No. Look, okay. This is going to be from the guy who's been doing it for way too long. Yes, I can sell you a windshield, right? For whatever motorcycle you want to buy. I don't care what it is. But if it's a windshield that's only existed for about 6 months, like if you have the newest Triumph Tiger 660 and you want to order the brand new Pugue or GV, it doesn't matter what brand it is. And you break one of the bolts that holds it on and it's a specific sized bolt for that windshield. If you break that piece of hardware, no. Right now, the dealer has 20 boxes of windshields, and each windshield has a kit, and kit. So if I'm going to steal you, if I order you in that one piece of hardware, you're going to have to wait until all the windshields get built and they start going into sending out extra hardware to people who order it, right? And no dealer's ever said, I'll take 10 hardware packs, please. Yeah.
I do know though that Honda carries the two lower bolts.
Yeah.
They're like a rubber,
Yeah.
and they squeeze into the holes for the windshield for the Africa Twin, because every time you take them off, they fall into the thing, and I have like 20 of them inside the.
They drop inside.
There's no way to get them out. And I know they carry a lot of them because I bought 20 of them already.
Jeez.
Though I'm familiar with those, and they have them on various different bikes, and you are correct. And there's more than one bike that has that. I think it was the one KROMKE XC500 had those.
You're not supposed to
did
take
the
the
same
bolt all the
They're
way
called,
out.
so the technical term for them is called well nuts. And these are what you're talking about, right?
Yeah,
Those guys?
exactly.
Okay, so this is the secret for you guys who own motorcycles.
Don't take the bolt.
Right. So the secret for people who own motorcycles, most motorcycles built in the past 30 years that have windshield hardware that goes into the fairing, right? So there will be this sploogey, this rubber bolt, this rubber nut that goes into the hole. And so I discovered
It's like a concrete anchor as you tighten it up.
many years ago that it's called a well nut. And now there's a lot of different things that are called well nut in the world of hardware. Trust me. But it's a Hillman, and they make them in all kinds of different sizes. So you can buy them in a whole bunch of sizes. The most popular by far is the 1/4 by 20. And then there's also the 5/16 by 18, but they make a bunch of them. And the reason I bring this up is here at our shop, we've got I think I order these 100 at a time, because many motorcycles for the past 25 years have had their windshield held on by 4 or 5 of these. And what happens is as they get old, the top hat part of the rubber, the wider base, separates from the main part. And so as soon as you go to take that thing out, boop, you're right, it falls right down in the bodywork area. And like, so you said that your Africa Twin's got a handful of these in it?
Yeah. No, because the first time I took them off, they fell in.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to leave the bolts, the 2 bottom bolts in.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
But unfortunately, if you don't do it every day, you don't remember that you're supposed to leave them in. And so that every time you take replace the windshield, the bolts dropped in, and so I just bought like 20 of them, and I'm like,
so if
this time I think I will remember because the third time's a charm.
Yeah,
so.
if you need one of these in a hurry, you go to Lowe's or you go to Home Depot, and you tell the guy you want nuts, right? And that's exactly what you need, because these things, if you order this from your dealer, you might be waiting a while, man. I mean, I'm sure this has a Honda part number. I'm sure this has an Aprilia part number. I know it's got a Moto Guzzi part number.
On the edge has like 100 of them because I've been ordering them. So I know they have them in stock.
Well, it's funny, too, if you're a motorcycle dealer, you learn that there's some certain hardwares that you can only order by the 24 or by the 48 or whatever. So you're like, okay, well, this guy came in and Knucklehead crashed his bike, and I need to get this one weird fastener on the left-hand side that's just, really weird panhead screw. And you're like, okay, I just need to order one of those. And you're like, God, son of a bitch, they're $5 a piece. And you order one, and then the box comes in from your supplier, and it's got 20 of them in it.
It's one set of 20.
Fastenal is famous for that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got
Minimum quantity is 500.
I got $100 worth of one bolt. And if you're doing an insurance job, guess who pays the $100?
You.
Insurance company, because fuck that. That's it. No way, man.
We'll put the rest of them under the seat.
Yeah.
He got a lifetime supply. There, I'll keep him here at the shop for the guy. Right. That's it. There is no way. So much of the specialized hardware. And motorcycles are famous for that.
Hey, remind me, I want to get my title from you before I leave.
That fucking rat's nest chewed up thing.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Did Renee tell you? We had a good talk over it. And first of all, it's in the name of a shop that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. That's a little odd. Because our shop used to be called something else when that title was previously owned by us.
I thought that was a good thing, but I guess not.
It's not a good thing. But what it is going to turn out to be a good thing is that we're still on speaking terms with the previous owner. So we're still on speaking terms with the previous owner.
You don't have to make any heroic effort.
No, we can bribe him just a little. So we'll bribe him just a little, and he'll go get a duplicate title. Yeah. So he gets a duplicate title, then we're all good. Everything's fine. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I just thought
it's so fucking funny though. The chewed up title.
But you know what? They should have a provision for like shit like that happens. Like, you know what I mean? Like
they do. That's why you can go to your title bureau and you can get a duplicate title for $5 or $6.
If you're the owner. Oh,
if you're the owner of the vehicle. But there's that chain of custody problem that sometimes gets a little gray and fuzzy around here. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Don't you still own Pride of Cleveland? That's gone.
I still own Pride of Cleveland Scooters LLC. It's still mine. It's still registered, but it's not registered with the Department of Motor Vehicles as my motorcycle dealership number.
Right.
Yeah. Right. We changed our MN to be something else. Yeah. That's right. So there you go. I can't process titles in the name of Pride. They gave me a really nice grace period. Don't get me wrong. We pushed it. We pushed it real hard. We got a grace period of the gods. But yeah, the whole problem when you're dealing with the state.
So you were supposed to go out and every bike that was titled in Pride of Cleveland.
Right. So
take all those titles and get them retitled.
Yes,
over.
Absolutely. I was supposed to go in my file cabinet.
But some of them weren't in your possession at the time.
Well, they should have been. Right. Right. Yeah. And what I should have done is I should have gone into the title bureau and said, give me every title that's registered to Pride of Cleveland Scooters, which they won't do. But yeah, they go figure.
They won't even give you a list of license plates you have. It's so ridiculous.
It's just retarded.
Like, you go into the BMV. Can you give me a list of the license plates that I have? No,
can't do that.
They've always given me that, but
that's so dumb.
Go to Wellington. They'll give you.
No, they won't. That's where I go.
They see you coming now. That's the problem.
No, they're like, oh my God.
All right, it's this guy. It's this guy again. Oh my God.
Okay, so did you take them donuts?
It's this grumpy guy.
You gotta go in there with donuts.
Who else did their homework?
Okay, I did, and it's motorcycle related.
Okay.
Honda, since the holidays are coming up, and you may want to get your dad. Hint, hint.
Gift ideas. Yep.
Some retro Honda gear. Honda brought out a ton of retro.
It's the retro Honda apparel.
Yes. And so you can't buy your dad a motorcycle. You can't buy your dad, whatever.
Because he already owns all of them.
But you can buy your dad some really cool retro Honda apparel.
Nice.
That's cool.
I was looking at a link to this that popped up earlier today, and the one thing in my entire life I've never been a fan of vests, but I have recently embraced the idea of a vest.
That one pleat, that one
that
stitch
puffy
vest,
vest
that
so
looks
fucking good.
really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was so cool looking. I was like, yeah, that's badass.
It'd be nice if it had a bunch of pockets in it that you could work on, so you could put your parts in it.
Yes,
like when you're.
I often thought about building a tool vest, starting with a fishing vest.
Okay, yeah.
That would be more you could just have all your shit.
Have
on
every known tool.
Plus, magnet would be nice. Would be to have a patch with a really strong magnet where you just stick the bolts right on your side while you're working on something, and then you can just pull them off. And
Word.
Yeah, I
now
think
somebody will come out with it and make $1 million. Ronco magnetic vest for working on motorcycles.
Steve Co.
We gave you the bucket liner. Now we give you the tool vest.
the bucket bin, it's one of the best things
From
ever.
the brilliant minds that brought you Clamscape comes.
The GSG special vest.
Oh man, I did see a link to that. And I'm having trouble finding it right now, but it had a lot of and it had you meet the nicest people on a Honda shirt. There was a lot of stuff that was old school design that they brought back, and I thought it was pretty badass.
Honda swag.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. There's a lot of a lot of cool stuff. And again, if you own your history, right, you've got your history. Go ahead and exploit it. Bring it all back, because that's
2 more years till I get my Solo.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you are getting really close to being able to get the Honda Solo.
So low you can't even see what it's doing.
It's again
that fucking thing.
the Honda Solo,
wow.
the world's.
Didn't we find you? We found you a fucking better one for $7, and you don't want it.
It's SSR makes it.
Yeah.
So they
No,
do.
I don't want an SSR.
a laser,
I
yeah.
want a Honda Solo.
Honda Solo.
You're gonna be a lonely person riding that thing.
Solo.
Again,
That doesn't bother him one bit. That doesn't bother him.
No, it
The
won't.
lonelier the better. That's what
never
I've
been a
always
problem.
said, especially with this fucker over here.
The horn on that thing just goes. Mwah, mwah.
It's better than that. It's better than wah, 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 all day long.
Oh, is that the sport model? It's yellow.
Was this team building out over here?
I think it's yellow with white fenders. Yeah, I don't know.
It's gonna be a trombone. Like,
I don't care what color it is. It could be pink.
That's what the
I'll
forks.
buy
Every time
it.
you hit a
If it's
bump, it
pink,
goes,
I'll buy it.
Honda Solo, man.
If it could be purple, that'd be the best.
Okay, show us the Honda Magna 50.
Oh yeah,
That's a great bike too. I've always wanted one of those. I could ride next to Steve on his Solo.
Oh my god. Again, this is diving into the dark bowels of motorcycles.
Gotta be yellow.
That
Gotta
should
be
have
yellow.
never been built.
Oh wait, there's a naked chick.
No,
on
it's
that one.
she's sitting on a Honda Magna. She's
Oh,
sitting
that's
on
a regular
She's on a
Magna.
Magna.
it's inflatable. Oh no, she's real.
No, she's sitting on a V65. She's sitting on 1100. Yeah, that's that. But no, the Honda
Would
Magna
that be
50.
like a V
Ding, ding, ding,
3.5?
Yeah, V3.5. That is for sure. I mean, God, that's ugly. God,
Yeah, I
that
don't
is
like that.
ugly. That is such an ugly motorcycle. Yep. It is everything you can do with 50 cc's. It does have a really chunky back tire, and it's got ComStars,
Even the rims look shitty.
Yeah, it's just
The graphics are
I
sweet.
never like Comstar
you
rims.
could. Yeah, there you go. Now you got hate mail. You
people like
you
those?
don't dare admit you're like, I fucking hate ComStars. Oh no, man, ComStars are the coolest thing ever.
So let's see, in '83 when they made cast wheels that didn't fall apart, I mean, you're going to say that those aren't better than the Comstars.
Then ComStars that rattle their way to a
Yep.
stop. Yeah. I don't know. I got 40,000 miles on my Honda. How can you tell? You fucking ComStars are all clickety-clackety, man. Yeah. People
Yeah,
today-
because the rivets are
people
are corroded out of
People in
them.
the car world are like, this is a 3-piece wheel. This is a 3-piece bolted up wheel and everything. They're like, oh, it's all cool. I was like,
Chopped
yeah,
Magna
ComStar
50.
had that shit in the fucking, Honda had that
They're
shit.
like a 20-piece wheel.
Just look at this,
Wow,
man.
look at the
Really?
dude on the bike. It shows you how small it is. Are those 14-inch wheels?
Is that Steve on it? That looks like Cinch riding it.
The other day they had a spade on Craigslist, and I got all nostalgic about it.
Damn, that's tiny.
I thought you were going some kind of racist thing.
No,
I was like, what are you talking about?
They had one.
The
and I was like,
Kimco spade. All right, yeah.
There you go, guys. If you want to know how big the Honda Magna 50 is, this guy's 5'10".
That thing's sweet.
Look at this. This is ridiculous. This motorcycle does. It's got YSR syndrome. It's that thing where you look at it and you're like, it's a beautiful motorcycle.
Yep.
And then you get up to it and you realize that it's a prop.
Which it's a scale.
It's a 50% scale model.
2 to 1, yeah.
2 to 1 scale model. That's exactly right.
Well, it's like the Sim Wolf. It's about the same size as the Wolf, isn't it?
Oh, I think this is
the
smaller
Wolf is
in perspective.
bigger, dude.
Look at the way this guy looks on this bike.
He doesn't look
This
tall
looks
at
like
all.
it looks like he's at Walmart sitting on the Razor chopper in the
To
bike
give you an
section.
idea how small that bike is, he snuck that into prison.
in his ass.
Well,
That's the
That should be
point.
mounted on a kiddie ride.
Smith on top of all the humor in this place.
I was like, and that night it was in his rectum.
Wrecked him, damn near killed him.
I didn't even know.
But you have a joke this
It
week?
was in his lady pocket. All right.
We already
Do you have
told
a
the
joke?
He's-
Did you print the internet?
okay, so that's that. Anybody else bring a story? Mr. Smith.
Oh, wait, I have a joke.
Okay.
Well, it's not really a joke. We were talking
Well,
about...
then don't start out by saying I have a joke.
Wow. Are you aware of how radio entertainment works?
No, I was thinking that the city of Oberlin bought a new fire truck.
Okay.
And the old fire truck, they're trying to sell the old one, and we don't know why they want to sell it, but I guess every 10 years they have to replace these fire trucks. So it's one of those ladder trucks.
Yeah.
So the old one only reached up 10 stories. But the
Which
new
is
one,
like 7 stories higher than the tallest building in
right,
Oberlin.
right, it's ridiculous. So the new one they got reaches up 11 stories.
It goes to 11.
Oh, it goes to
All right.
11.
Yeah. So, but that's another story.
Ah, you dick. You dick.
No, because all they tell
You
it.
dick. Stop. Just stop there.
let it go.
Don't
Let it-
drive over the end of your own joke.
No, just
Yeah, don't drive over
Like
the end
your
of your own
tire
joke.
is right on your dick, and if you go any far forward, you're smashing it.
Just don't drive over your own joke.
My wife told me I had to stop acting like a flamingo, so I had to put my foot down.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my fucking God.
Did you hear about the story about the corduroy pillows?
No.
Making headlines.
Jesus Christ.
This is the dad joke.
This is a dirty joke. What do you call a pony with a sore throat?
okay.
A little horse.
Getting better. Okay. Jesus. Not by much though.
Fucking bar was low. 53 years old. I thought I'd have better friends.
What's 2 bananas on the ground? A pair of slippers.
Jesus Christ. Okay, next
Why
one.
did the melons get married? Because they can't elope.
Why are we fucking laughing?
I stopped laughing a while ago.
There goes the last listener.
I like
Yep.
the bananas. Yeah. See ya.
Yeah.
How did the pig get to the ambulance? Or how did the pig get to the hospital? In the ambulance.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Who else did their homework? All right, Mr. Smith, you're up.
So my friends at Janusz are selling their new 250s with a 4-year warranty.
Right. Okay.
And so when I was out there at the owners rally, I said, "Hey,
And we're talking about Janus?
That's what I was cackling on the
Janusz.
Got it.
The Janusz.
Janusz. And I was like,
Janusz.
Well, did we properly talk about
Janus?
Smith has
are you going to interrupt me?"
yes.
No, he literally.
let
I
him
literally
please.
asked for homework. He raised his hand. He said, "At homework," and he has the floor.
Okay.
All right.
So
Janusz.
So I call him up. I said, "Hey, how about you guys give me an extended warranty?"
Okay. All right.
And-
If you don't ask, you don't get.
Well, that's right.
Right.
And I've had a fair number of failures on
Right.
some of the items that they've had.
Sure.
So it took him about 6 weeks to get back to me. But he said, "All right, we'll give you 4 more years of warranty." So that's a total of 6. And he says,
Wow.
yeah. And he says, $200 a year, which is not bad. And I countered with, well, how about 200 for year 3, 200 for year 4,
Right.
and 100 for year 5, and 100 for year 6.
Oh my God!
I think
You got
counted
him on
with-
a reverse incremental warranty
And,
program.
and he said, okay. but
So you think it would go the other way?
I was going to say, how far could you have gone and picked up any resistance?
well, I cut up, year 7, $50, year 8,
It's
pro 50
it's
or something.
prorated.
Year 8.
It's a 100-year warranty, but it's prorated.
We're going to charge you less because we're less likely to honor it.
Or to be around.
We're less likely to be in business.
Yeah, to be around.
Well, not only that, but like they just did, by you paying the $700 or whatever to them again, they just covered the cost of the original manufacturing of the bike. So you're fucking solid.
Yeah, the R&D.
I'm still shocked for 4 years
Yeah, so-
on top of a 2-year.
Yeah, so unless you ask for it, I mean, what's the worst they can say? Fuck you, we're not going to do it. And, I've been in touch with them quite a bit.
I
so-
don't sell warranties every day. So yeah.
Do they know that? Do
Right.
they know that you've speedstered it?
I didn't hear that question.
No, I didn't.
Do they know that you have speedstered it, meaning that it's no longer just what it was? Now it's a fast 600 horsepower breathing fire machine.
Well, he strapped that APU engine to it that, it's got.
I don't think he understands what you're saying.
Yeah,
So you
he's good
did
to go.
work on the motor. You added a new top end. You added a thing and all this stuff. Does that hurt the warranty?
I think still he doesn't understand what you're saying.
Right. I don't even, I don't think that, right.
So I just did the math in my head, and he's paying about $25 more a year than he could have just bought a warranty for. No, I'm joking.
No.
Well, guys, I sell warranties. I mean, these manufacturers want me to sell warranties. And some companies have gotten to be a little dickish about it, right? And they're getting to the point where they're going to start giving us sales quotas on warranties. Yeah, fucking right, Chris. That's some bullshit right there.
So what's the usual percentage that they charge for a warranty?
Well, so to give you an idea,
not pointing fingers and okay. All right.
okay, I just pointed a finger,
Well,
right?
okay.
So
Behind the camera, so it's good. Okay.
okay,
All right.
but if you want
That one.
a warranty on that, right? It's $700 a year.
Ouch.
Okay,
You did good.
Was it mileage limited or?
no,
Just a year.
no, it's calendar limited.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right,
And
it's
what
calendar
does
limited.
it cover?
The same thing your original factory warranty covered, which is depends on your warranty, right? So, but every time a manufacturer, and I'm not talking about weird bullshit fifth party warranties and stuff. I'm talking about the manufacturer's factory, warranty. That these companies see that as being a profit point. They see that as being, and it doesn't sound like Janus did that at all with you. It sounds like what they did is they said, you're going to have some skin in the game. We're going to have a lot more skin in the game. The fact that they didn't haggle or negotiate or do anything with you, the fact that you asked for it, you've been a good spokesman for their company. Yep. They said this is number one. And so is this a program that they've just started about offering people extended warranty?
They did not.
Okay.
I'm actually the first one that requested it.
Okay.
And he did say that he doesn't know that they're going to offer anybody a 6-year
Honor it?
warranty like I've got. But
Yeah, no shit.
he said that companies are offering extended warranties, so they're going to maybe start to get into it, and they're going to see how it goes with me. And
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
and I did tell him that I was going to back rate the pay, so I'll pay it at the end of year 7.
Well, but it does say something about them that they're backing up their product.
Correct. Right. Absolutely. And
So
At
this
that
brings
price.
up a question in my mind, though. How long until companies start offering warranty as a subscription? How many years you want to buy? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
Yeah.
Well, what I was thinking on the same vein is like a cell phone, like T-Mobile. You pay a certain amount for a warranty.
Right.
At the end of, like, say it's a 10-year period or 8-year period, you get a new bike.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
you,
right.
So,
you
like,
prepaid
so-
for the whole thing already by that point, right?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, say you get a warranty, you pay $1,000 a year
Right.
for your warranty.
Right.
At the end of the warranty period, your 8-year warranty period, or your 7-year, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you trade in your bike
Gotcha.
and you get a new bike.
It's a lease.
Yeah, it's a lease, but
lease.
but you own it. I mean,
Yeah, I get it.
so that's kind of the way the phones work with T-Mobile. Now you pay up front.
So you're not so much paying for the phone as you're paying for the service contract for the phone.
Right, you're paying for you're paying for the service contract, but then you can trade it in, or you get a new one if you want one.
Fucking Dan's really having a lot of trouble unfucking that pig over there, man.
Hey,
So Chris, was
by
that,
the way,
was
what
that
did
the end of it? Because that's
Well, so getting back to
really a
Oscar's
good deal.
point,
Yeah.
is they had said to me that they want me to feel confident
Yeah.
in their bike.
Yeah.
And I reached to them saying,
Props to them.
I would like to have as much confidence as you guys exude.
Right.
So this is
Yeah.
what would help me.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
So kind of a thumbs up
Yeah,
to
for
them
sure.
to
Yes, as far as I'm concerned, that's a massive thumbs up. Yeah.
It makes me want to buy one.
yeah.
It's
No, I'm serious. I mean, from if you're looking at companies, if you had two separate companies selling a similar product,
Right.
and you have one company that says, "Well, we're going to back our bike up for 6
Yeah.
years,
Right.
and we're going to not rip you off with this thing. We're going to give you a reasonable
Warranty
warranty
yeah.
system,
Right.
cost." Then what would you rather buy? Would you buy a Janus, or would you buy a Cleveland,
Janusz.
where your warranty system is, here, let me get this, let me put some sand in this Vaseline and jam it up your ass.
Hey, I still have people calling
You'd
me.
probably want the Cleveland.
I get it every day with you. So.
I still have people calling me once a month that are asking me, today I got a call about a guy. He's like, is asking me about that bike. He's asking me about, the heist. And he's just like, will you guys work on it? I was like, no, we won't fucking work on it. Do you know why we won't work on it? Because they won't work on it. The company that sold it to you, the place that still exists.
Yeah, right down the road.
They won't work on it. And you know what? They've not worked on it longer than I won't work on it. And that should tell you everything you need to know about a company right there. And
Their
that's...
electric bikes would be so much better.
Yeah, okay.
They're using like Rayovac batteries.
Again, we said we're not talking about any
not
motorcycles.
talking
So
about
you can't,
sorry.
right, exactly. That's exactly right. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, Oscar.
I like that. Yeah.
See,
What do you call a chubby psychic?
I don't know. What do you call it, Chubby?
A fortune teller.
I get it now. Who else did their homework? Anyone else? Anyone else?
I think that's all you.
Anyone else?
He did the
Yeah, I did the McGinnis.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
McGinnis. Bring me the McPint, man.
Oi.
Bring me the fucking
Oi, oi,
McPint.
oi.
I did look up that.
I did my boat one.
You did one.
I did the boat.
I know.
The boat,
You,
the
can,
boat.
Go, you can go ahead and talk about the
But I did.
untalkable.
But I still think we shouldn't talk about it.
Not boats. Yeah.
I don't think we should talk. But I think that I looked it up, Chris, and because I did want to check to see the price on that, it's I pulled it up. It's $770 for 2 years. Okay. So it's $770 for 2 years.
$375 a year or something.
But look at that breakdown. It's $500 for 1 year, $770 for 2 years. So it's $500 a year unless you buy 2 years, in which case it's $770. But what bothered me so much is that's not for like all of their bikes. That's for that particular model.
Now, does that come with any factory, like a year of factory?
It comes with 2 years.
So you're adding. So you're basically
Correct.
On the
Four.
back end.
Yep.
okay.
You're adding that on the back end.
Unless you're Best Buy, we're going to give you a 3-year warranty, but 1 year is already covered by the manufacturer.
Oh, that's fucked
You
up.
did see that it was 500. You saw that it was 500
first, yeah.
for the first year,
Yeah.
and 770 for the second year, right? Well, if you look at the next model down from that one,
Is it $770 for the second?
No,
or
for two. For 2 years.
Okay.
2 years.
Buy 1 year for
I got
500.
that
What if you only want the second year?
I only want to say right, yeah. And so, but on their next level bike down though, instead of 770 for 2 years, it's 320. So you see there's a massive jump. It's over double
Depends on the buyers,
between which bike you're looking at. So to me, I have a problem with that. It would lead a consumer to say, hey, Model A bike, my 2-year, my extended warranty, my 4-year warranty is only going to cost me $320. Model B bike, my extended warranty is going to
Twice as
cost me
much, yeah.
$770. What's the matter with Model B bike?
Yeah.
Why is Model B bike
More
so
prone.
much more?
They're using an insurance. They're doing an insurance, like an insurance policy for the amount of the bike instead of the liability.
Yeah.
And the
And so-
liability should be the same.
Right. And that's the thing is, it just creates a confusion point for customers where they're saying, hey, look, why is it so different? Why the fuck is it, the way it is? Whereas if you talk to a third party, warranty, and I'm going to tell you, my shop will not work on your bike if you have a third party warranty. If you have something that is, outside, if you bring your Triumph in here under warranty, I'm not going to work on it. I'm going to charge you. I'm going to charge you the same rate we charge everybody. You're not going to get the work for free. I can do the work, but you're not going to get warranty credit for
Can
it.
you check the warranty on the Viver?
It's the same.
shit.
They don't delineate it that way.
It's on the actual model?
That would just be that, So that would be that. So it's still $320 for 2 years. Yeah, the Justin Bieber. Bieber does not change the warranty.
Nah.
But
He does got a piece of the warranty.
I know.
right, yeah, you get a piece of the warranty.
It's gonna be 12 grand.
But keep that in mind too. You could have the greatest warranty in the world. You know that you've got to take that bike to a Janus dealer to have it worked on.
A what?
Yeah, Janus dealer.
Janus.
Janusz.
Janus.
Janusz.
A dealer to
Janusz.
Janusz. Yeah. So that's,
They would treat the parts, but I mean, they were good about sending you parts and everything. So
and that's
that
a
was
big
really good.
part of it too.
That's cool.
That to me, that would be fantastic if I had a problem with my location, because you might like a Ducati motorcycle. Well, shit, there's a whole 6-year period of time where if you lived right here where we're recording from and you had a Ducati motorcycle, you would have to go to Columbus, 2+ hours away to go to a Ducati dealer. Now, that's too far for a lot of people who have no clutch.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can't.
Or trailer.
Or trail,
Right,
yeah.
or trailer, right.
fuck that.
Right. You are going to be in a bad spot. So in the case of those of us who live here who also enjoy Ducati, right? So many people that live here and enjoy Ducati, that was the come to Jesus fucking moment when Doc sold his dealership or went out of business, right? So when that happened, it like somebody flipped a switch. There was no more Ducati dealer. The Triumph had found another dealer for their products. It was almost me. It's not me. That's why I'm not a multimillionaire right now. It's okay. I've swung at a few and missed, but it's all right. I live a less complicated life because of it. Amen. But that thing, if you've got a Ducati right this minute, I don't care if you bought the last one Doc sold and you had a 4-year extended warranty. Where the fuck are you going to take it?
Yeah.
Right? And everybody who's a Moto Guzzi fan, right? Yeah. When I stopped carrying them, that put a big fucking hole in the middle of the map.
Right, my friend called me this week and he's like, I lost the keys to my Moto Guzzi. What do I do? I'm like, you're fucked. I'm like,
There's a new dealer in Columbus, and there's our
and that's
friends.
what he said. I have to go
Padres
down to
like,
Columbus.
You do.
Do you
I
have a
said-
hat?
Could I interest you in the Cleveland Moto's new extraordinarily fuckable hat? Because our new Cleveland Moto hats are so fuckable. Yeah, they are extremely fuckable. In fact, this might be the most fuckable hat I've ever worn.
If
I
you
don't
wrap
think
it
I've
in
ever
a
owned.
plastic bag with some rubber bands around it,
And,
make a
and it's
fifi.
got a reservoir end.
This,
Well, no, but it definitely makes a good fifi.
I'm very happy with this hat. Yeah, it's just it's so soft. Our previous hats, the Moto Guzzi Cleveland Moto hats,
Not as fuckable.
They were a little ridgy. They give you some road rash. Yeah, you don't
This
want
one's
to go.
not as good. It's got a hole at the top.
You got a hole in the top. Yeah, right. This one's not. This is just
That lets all
perfect.
the hot
This
air
is
out.
so soft. So soft. Yeah, it's just like the fuzz on a peach. You know? It's so nice. So nice. That's it. What's our time like, Steve?
Oh, we're at an hour and 43 minutes.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Any hate mail for John?
Oh, you know what? I got to check. My hate mail.
Wait, there's a Swedish dude.
Again.
For Grumpy
Have we
Sewer guy?
determined that he's not actually Swedish?
Oh, no, he is. Hold on.
Are you sure?
Yeah, hold on.
He wasn't?
I still feel like he's not Swedish.
He said his
still feel
name's,
like that's
his
a
name's
mistake.
Jimmy, Swedish West Coast Moto moron.
Meatballs or get the fuck
Here
out.
you go. You ready? Oh.
Because
Hey,
he shops at IKEA.
hey, you guys. Turned 50 a couple of weeks back. Guess I'm having a midlife crisis or something. Started to think my Yami R1 Turbo is uncomfortable and mean.
Jesus
So I got
Christ.
myself an old man's bike, more fitting. My not so flexible body type. An FZS 1000 with some additional piping, comfy as a sheeted compared to the R1, and still goes.
Are we talking turbo noises?
Ride fast and shave horses. Jimmy the fucking Muppet puppy guy. And here's a picture of his new bike. There, that was his turbo. Look at that. He has a turbo Yamaha.
That's cool. That's cool looking.
That is very cool. Turbo.
Oh, but look, maybe you can read this.
turbo.
I was reading with you. Yeah.
Got a turbo. Fucking Christ, man. Some people wear headphones. Jesus.
What is it? Is it scurper?
Dude, we got Jason Shiflett.
Jason.
Well,
Jason Shitfoot. I mean, Shiflett.
shit fit. Fuck.
Fucking his name. He could have changed it. It's not expensive. You can change your name. I do like his email address is shifty1969.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying the rest of it because he doesn't need any hate mail. But yeah, he's a $10 Patreon member, so he'll get access to the bat phone, right?
Thank you.
He'll be able to send us fucking hate mail and shit for real. That's super cool. We do appreciate that stuff. I mean, it does go a
Yay,
long
Patreons.
way. Yay, Patreons. If anybody wants to join me, I have my tickets. I'm going to California for Liza's 500th episode. Whoop, whoop. So I'll be going down there. If anybody wants to tag along, we can figure out how to make that work. But
When is that?
That is December 3rd weekend. So yeah, that is that is. I think they're recording on either the Saturday or the Sunday, the 500th episode. They got all kinds of shit planned too, so it's going to be a whole weekend out. Lots of fun.
I'll definitely go if they're going to do a sitting on a bike contest.
Do you really want to go to the sitting on a bike? Sitting on a bike? Nope. No.
What's the hook? No, that's it. What's the hook?
What's the hook? What do you mean?
No, you just.
Oh yeah, you just sit on the bike. No, but when does it get really exciting?
Yeah,
well, they're gonna have burlesque over there.
Yeah.
For an hour or so.
So
yeah.
what's the skill? No, you just
sit on the bike. Look,
hey man, it seems like fun. I'm not dogging it. Whatever.
The whole
Fine.
concept.
You're dogging it.
The whole concept started because.
Dude, shut up. We won.
That's right. Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna make them have an event we can't win.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, our ringer won. Our sponsored guy won.
Right. They didn't look up his credentials.
Back
to
in
see
the
he
80s,
did like
whoever could
15
hold
iron
on.
butts.
Yeah, back in the 80s, whoever could keep their hand on the Fiero the longest won it.
Yeah.
All that
yeah.
shit they do at the malls.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I
Yep.
do.
There's like you have 200 people standing around a fucking world's shittiest car.
Yep.
They're all putting their hand on it. Like the last guy to take their hand off the
No, it
Fiero.
was the guy with the biggest bladder.
No. There was a documentary about that dude, one of the guys that won the Ferrari.
Yeah.
And his thing was exactly the opposite. He just pissed. He just pissed on everybody around him.
he
and on
did.
the car.
Oh, he did.
People was like, what?
Oh, fuck.
He fucking hung in there for
I
like.
love that. That's I'd pro move it. Right there.
They didn't throw a flag on that?
No, because it wasn't in the rules. He fucking found the loophole.
They got a fucking
or
red
the loophole, I guess.
red card that guy.
Hey, look here.
Jesus
He won.
Christ.
He won, but he was in prison for
Exposure.
Unbelievable.
10 shots of Malort.
Fucking hell, man. What the hell? Hey, I got some news for you. If you're trying to trade in a motorcycle at my shop, it's wintertime. I get it. But people do want to make a little change in their life. And if you're trying to trade in a motorcycle and you call me up and you're like, so I want to do this deal. And we do the whole deal based on a 2016 BMW R9T Scrambler,
Okay.
right? Is
that the Urban Scrambler?
the turbine?
Yeah.
The R9 turbine?
Yeah.
I think it might be.
Okay.
I think it's the BMW R9 turbine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's definitely the Scrambler. So if you are going to do the deal and you tell me that the bike in question is going to be a BMW R9T Scrambler,
Should be.
show up with a
Please, please. After I figure out what we're going to do on the trade and we're going to make all these, we're going to make things real, right? Then don't at the last second tell me that you're going to be changing the bike and that because that R9T Scrambler's not in this town because you're effectively mega wealthy, right? That won't be the bike you're trading in anymore. That the bike you want to trade in instead is a BMW R1200 GS from year of our Lord 2010. Because although it's a beautiful motorcycle,
It's not the same though.
don't get me wrong, it is 6 very important years of time have
I mean,
passed.
did he say, I'd like to change this bike and add $5,000
No,
cash
he did
to
not.
the deal?
No,
Okay, well,
no,
then
he
that-
didn't.
that's a
He
good
didn't.
point. That's a
He
good
didn't.
point.
He figured that the money I offered him for the R9T
Would be the same
Scrambler
for the other.
from year of our Lord
As long as it has a BMW in
2016,
front of it, it doesn't matter.
Then
right?
he thought that the GS. Now here's the weird thing, you guys, we're all people who like motorcycles here. So the BMW Galandestrasse 2010 R1200 GS. Would anyone like to guess? And just for fast, anyone would like to guess what the MSRP was of this vehicle 2010? Anybody just throw a price out.
16.9.
Go ahead.
18.4.
It's $15,090.
That's what I was
give or
gonna
take.
guess.
Right. Okay. So $15,090. Would anyone like to guess what the retail price MSRP is on the R9T Scrambler in year of our Lord 2016?
12.
$15,990.
Oh, same. Okay.
It's the exact same price.
Well, but you take 6 years off.
6 years.
Yeah.
Now it's 6 years of inflation, 6 years of economy, 6 years of whatever the 6 years you want the 6 years to be. I don't give a fuck. But the point is, when I offer you X trade-in value on your 2016, especially when they both had the exact same MSRP to start with,
Yeah.
it is not
Not
cool
the same,
to just
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, well I've decided that you're going to have the GS instead. No.
What about mileage?
That's still.
The 11,000 miles on the GS and 8 or 6,000 on the 9T.
Yeah, so that's
Still.
Yeah, they're
it's
both.
still-
Well, no, but I
low
mean,
miles.
like it would be even worse. Like if
So
they
how'd
tried
you
to
resolve
turn a
it?
GS with like
yeah, yeah.
80,000 miles.
Yeah.
How I resolved it, he told me he was going to send me
Quick.
pictures of the bike. So he was like, yeah, I'm sending you pictures of the bike. It's going to be great. So he sends me a picture of the bike and he sends me a picture and I'm
The
fully
wrong one.
expecting to find this picture, right? I'm fully expecting to find a picture of an R9T Scrambler because I have got news for you. In the used, I'm trying to sell a motorcycle market, which if you guys haven't noticed, that's where I live, right? So it turns out the motorcycles that
These
come
are
in
for
here,
sale?
I like
What?
selling them, right? Isn't that cool? They come in, I sell them, and they go away. It is so much easier to sell an R9T Scrambler
Yeah.
than it is to sell a 13-year-old BMW GS 1200.
Yeah. In Cleveland? Yeah.
That's what he's found out.
That's what he just found out, right? He just found out that there is a dramatic market desirability factor
yeah.
between the bike he decided at the last minute to swap out on the deal. And I know that people are going to argue and debate. I'm going to tell you, a BMW GS is a wonderful motorcycle. It is a fantastic fucking bike. It is a great motorcycle for about the first 5 years. And then after that, the things that you didn't maintenance, like, changing the brake fluid every 5 years or so, that can lead to other problems.
And the clutch
Now,
is super fun on those
when
bikes,
you've
too.
got a motorcycle that is 13 years old and it doesn't have many miles on it at all, then I know you probably haven't been doing the brake fluid every 5 years or whatever. And I know that the bike may have very few miles on it, but it's still 13 years old. And this is the kind of motorcycle that doesn't do particularly well once those years start piling up. And that's where the difference between a 2016 R9T Scrambler and the difference between a 2010 1200 GS, and it wasn't the GS Adventure, it's just a base model GS. There's a big fucking difference there. And anybody who wants to know about that difference could have been here at our shop when you saw that we had an R9T on our floor that only stayed on our floor for about 3 weeks. But I had TRK 502 adventure bike that was here forever. I've had a whole lot of adventure bikes. Adventure bikes hang around for a really, really long time because you need to find the guy that's got the combination of factors, right? So there are a lot more people that are into.
You need more Starbucks stars.
Yes, that's right. They need far more. Right,
And I think you got to place ads like for you, you'd have to go to these places and almost pretend to be a
Oh, you'd have to blend in.
yeah.
I'd have to go to Starbucks.
California.
If you're gonna look, you can say I'm busting balls. I'm not busting balls. But if you want to go bear hunting, right? You go to the forest that has the bears. Right? That's what you do.
I go to Lane Bryant.
Hey.
But yeah, you're right. Like
That's if I had to have a BMW GS in here and I knew that I had to turn it into money real quick, my ass would be in front of the ice cream store in Chagrin Falls.
that, or you just go to Adventure Rider and post it there, and it would sell quickly.
Well, when you go to the ice cream parlor, coffee shop in Chagrin Falls,
you're right.
It is a parade of aluminum boxes.
Yeah.
It's just you could walk across the street on aluminum boxes.
The best was
Never get your feet dirty.
I used to, because I'd like to go down Old River and I'd just drive by. I wouldn't really stop.
Yeah.
But the best was not only did they have all the boxes, but all those dudes that have literally like 200 miles on their bike after 10 years.
Yeah.
They have all the protection. Like they go out of their way to buy like the Black Dog fucking skid plate and the fucking like the shaft drive fucking covers and all this shit.
But remember, it's a disease, and the disease doesn't leave the guy. Just the equipment changes, because the funny thing is, parked to the outside of them, flanking them,
Are the Harley guys?
are the Harley Davidson Street Glides that haven't got the memo yet.
Yeah.
Or they got the memo, they haven't got the bank yet. And so it's so funny when you're like, oh, the Harleys park over there, and then the BMW adventure bikes park here.
Yeah.
And you look at the owners, and the owners are all the same.
Yeah.
The owners are, every single person is the same person. And I know a lot of those guys there, and I know a couple of those guys that have vintage BSAs in their garage. I know one guy there that's one of the greatest Triumph restoration guys I've ever known. But when it comes to Sunday, in front of, in Chagrin Falls, I can tell you what they're all going to be riding. They're going to be riding their Street Glides, or they're going to be riding their GSAs.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is, man. And yeah, they do come out. They come out dressed to kill.
Wait till he falls asleep tomorrow at work. Just wait.
You got me, John. You got me good.
You'll probably sleep through it.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, we talked about arrow stitches, right? Bitches. Arrow stitches get snitches. Stitches, right? So I wanted to show you guys. I'm not, if anybody asks, I'm not giving you this information. You didn't get this here. Ahem. So Centurion, I don't know what Centurion is. Okay. Through Helmet House.
It's a Romulan commander on Star Trek.
It may be Tourmaster. All right. It may be Tourmaster, but they are selling a Centurion waterproof onesie.
Oh yeah.
For retail, 600 doll hairs. Okay. A CE Level 2 armor, zippered venting, and a waterproof Cordura shell come together in a dependable companion for long-distance touring. I honestly feel like in a dependable companion for long-distance touring, that implies...
Depends.
No, but listen, here's the big question, though.
Yeah. I like the color scheme.
Will the color scheme fade quickly? If it doesn't, then we can't have it.
Okay, yeah. So it comes in your selection of Space Force Gray, and it comes in. I just rolled in poo. Those are the two colors that it comes in.
That they're trying to get rid of.
Chris would have bought one if it came in fluorescent yellow. Just the big giant suit.
With gibbon-like arms too.
Well, and how far would buy it if it was a romper?
It is a Tourmaster, by the way. So just to clarify,
It'd have to have the flap in the back so you can just poop. Just like,
I don't have a problem with that idea. One of the most humiliating races I've ever lost in my life, I lost to John because I
took a shit.
Because I had to poo.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, this race, it was cold as fuck. The race was early June, but it was very cold.
Yeah.
So I was wearing polypropylene weasel squeezers, right? So I was wearing that. So I was wearing those Barishnikovs. And so then over that, I had on a regular pair of pants.
Yeah.
And then over that, I had on a pair of military BDUs. Three layers,
Yeah.
2 zippers, 4 buttons,
How many belts?
And a part.
1 button, 1 belt.
One belt. All right.
Okay. So I ran into the toll booth, the throughway, the interstate on the turnpike, and I ran in at Angola, and as soon as the gas was done, I was on fire. And I ran in there and I delayerified like an onion, and I dropped and plopped. And as I'm pulling up the polypropylene, I heard this, and I mean, it was loud as fuck, man. It was loud. He was like 900.
Is that the bike that's for sale?
1,000 feet away?
No, different one.
But the point being, had I either A, not had to poo, or B, pooed faster,
Yeah, you'd have won.
I would have won. Right. So anyway,
Butt flop.
Or if you
Butt
do
flap.
like Hoffert and just convert the poo into
I think,
carbon
honestly, I can't.
and reabsorb it.
It would have been interesting because I was still catching up to you, and we would
Yeah,
have
yeah,
had,
it
we
would've
would
been
have had
close.
about 2 hours of.
right.
I might have been able to reel you in.
Yeah, well, there's
eventually.
that whole idea behind the gap is like, one, had I just not pooped, right? Because there's time there.
But you were definitely in the lead all day long.
Fucking still pisses me off to no end.
So you need to
there's
use
one thing about-
Turbolax on.
There's one thing about winning your class. There's the other thing about winning the overall event.
Yeah.
When you're second in the overall event. That's what pisses me off, is to be second in the overall event. Win your class, sure. If I would have been 5th in the overall event, then it's no big deal. It's you're in a totally different class for fuck's sake. But to be second in
So
his
close.
class made me so angry, so fucking mad, absolutely pissed. All right, so anyway,
The good news, he's gotten over it.
yeah, I've gotten over
Yeah,
it.
good thing.
It was only 8 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. But so
Onesie.
the onesie from Tourmaster, the Centurion, I mean, I like the aesthetic of it. I like the look of it. It is a onesie, but I think it might have the zipper that goes from your neck all the way down to your
Giblets.
I think it goes to your cankles.
Well, no, it'd be
I
better.
think so,
It'd
yeah.
be better if it went up and around your butt and up your back, because then
Well,
you could just pull it and just separate.
Because what I'm looking at is I don't see any provision there for making the poop come out.
No, if it's a Tourmaster, it won't fade. But that thing that you hold on to pull your zipper down will break right off in about 2 minutes.
Then you're fucked.
That is true. On my Tourmaster, I have replaced it with like an AMA vintage, like a pull tab thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's true for all because I have a Joe Rocket. In this
Yeah. So it's just like the zipper tabs are
But
never
the best
strong.
thing you
have
can
a
do is
zip
put a big
tie.
rope on it so you can actually put
Oh
it up
yeah,
and down.
yeah.
with you.
Put a big fucking
Zip
rope
with your
on it.
gloves,
Yeah.
Yeah.
those little tiny stubby things,
Yeah,
you
you
got
can't
gloves
reach
on. You're
anyway,
like,
so
fuck
you-
you, thing.
Oh God. Yeah. Right. People are putting these little fashionable like YKK zippers on it,
Yeah.
and you're like,
Yeah. Hello.
come on, man.
If the zipper teeth aren't like fucking like 1 centimeter thick, I don't
Yeah.
want it on my jacket.
Yeah,
Like, you need that.
It's
It's like a
absolutely
little
it.
T handle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're absolutely
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
or in Steve's case, a tea bag.
A tea bag. Tea bag. All right. So anyway, again, it's
horrible.
about half the price of an Aerostitch, right? For people that don't necessarily need everything an Aerostitch provides.
Centurion.
If you're going to ride in the wintertime,
An attitude.
yeah, well, we get a lot of people, a lot of customers that this is the year that these guys have said, I'm going to ride all winter. And look, if you're gonna ride all winter,
Gear up, baby.
Dude, the
man,
guy
a onesie is the way to go.
on the way here.
Yeah.
I was coming. I got off the highway on 150th, hung a left
Yeah.
on Lorraine here.
Yeah.
And the dude that you sold that Vitpillin to, the 401,
He's never
out-
stopped riding.
Yeah. He was,
that guy on that Vitpillin is never stopped riding.
Yeah.
He's put. I think I sold it to him 3, maybe 4 months ago, and he brought it back in. He's already put 8,000 miles on it.
easy. Yeah.
Easy.
Yep.
He should talk to you about an extended warranty.
He should talk to us about an extended warranty.
he's showing
And
you that
know
the
what?
bike's pretty
And you know what?
reliable.
That's great because then he can just go to the Husqvarna dealer and have him cover it. Oh, ouch!
Or
That's
MBA.
painful.
Or MBA
That's
goose.
tough. But it is. If you are going to ride in the cold, onesies work so good. And if you don't have a fancy motorcycle armored onesie, if you've got like a set of walls like
Carhartts, whatever.
a set of Carhartt, a set of Walls or whatever, good thick fucking jumpsuit. Man, they work good.
I was looking at snowmobile suits.
Yep.
They had one for like $99.
They're so cheap, man.
It looked like it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, it looked old school and everything. But I'm like, it looked like literally jumping inside a sleeping bag. I'm like, that's about what you want.
That would be awesome. Just like this
sleeping bag.
You get a
look like-
white one, he would look like the fucking Michelin Man just fucking on a motorcycle.
You look like an Albanian at a coffee shop.
They had the one was like the outfit the guy wears to stock the freezer at Walmart.
Yeah.
No, wait a second. Von Sinchen Wagner showed up in a vintage snowmobile suit when we were out playing
you're
around.
right. You're right. My wife does have that. You're right.
I mean, that looks fucking cool, man.
Yeah, well, she's a fun.
She looked super fucking cool in that. I mean, when she came out rocking the vintage snowmobile shoot, I was like, that's all right.
Yeah.
I need to get one.
Yeah, that is super badass, man. Yeah, I think there's a lot to be said for that. This is what Sleepy's going to be rocking next year.
Fuck yeah.
He'll be putting on the Geodisiac.
I'm in.
The Geodisiac,
Send that
baby.
sucker right to my house, man.
The Saved by the Bell one. Nice.
With the hat. You buy that outfit, you get the hat for free.
I just
I would
sew
wear that.
I'd
Fuck
sew a
that.
banjo on the back of that and be the happiest guy fucking riding.
My
man.
God, yes, man.
Yep.
Yeah, that dude's having a happy time. He's got his Miller Lite. He's just
Yeah.
having a good time.
I can't believe that they didn't take the option to put a PBR in his hand.
No,
Like,
he
come on.
he needs a big ass Flavor Flav clock in front of him.
He does. He does. What makes me actually a little sick about this is the fact that it costs $349 US.
Wow.
Shit.
God damn. You know, they said the bright neon things were coming back with a vengeance. I ski. I snowboard. They're not. Right? It's like, you know, there might be some mountain, you know, if you're the disco queen of Montana, this might be right up your fucking alley, but where I'm skiing and I'm snowboarding, nobody's wearing this.
I like the fact that he's got like the neon everything, but he's rocking fucking gardening gloves.
Yeah, he is totally rocking work gloves.
I like that the customers that also saw that also bought the
Customers
flag.
also bought the,
flag.
quote, the mascot.
So that's your audience.
I pray to God.
Make America mediocre again.
Wow. Wow.
Goes to show you who's
You know
buying
what?
that shit.
You know what? She wouldn't listen to me, so I gave her the beak.
And on that note,
On that note, ride fast and take chances, America.
Take chances! Take chances! Ride fast, take change, ride fast, take change, ride fast, take change, ride fast, take change, ride fast, take change.